Howdy y'all, welcome back. We are back again to play MAMIYA, A Shared Illusion of the World's End. So last time we left off after having finished Suoketo's route, we went on to do Samejima. So now we will go on to is it Niingaki and then Arisungawa. I will plan to do both of them in this stream, and then the next stream we'll do Toma, right? Um, yeah, Toma, and then we'll do Toma, and hopefully the rest of the chapter. We'll see how long that takes. But yeah. Let's go ahead and switch over. Let me go back and see. So it's okay. Niingaki's next. So the way they have it here, they got Arisungawa next, Toma, and then Niingaki. Interesting. Okay. I chose to observe Niingaki. What kind of person was she exactly? With that question in mind, I allowed myself to sink deeper into the story. Chapter 5, Sai Niingaki. We're done, Mayuri. Great work today. Thanks. You did really great. Each angle is perfect. How do you catch on film something that doesn't exist? What? You mean like spirit photography? Come on, I can't take shots of things like that. Even if I did, I'd exercise it in the development stage. That's not what You know what? Never mind. Well, our job is to capture the invisible charm of models like you and make it visible to everyone. In that sense, all that matters is practice. I see. That other girl sure is late, though. There's less than a half an hour left until the next photo shoot. I wonder if that's going to be enough. Excuse me, Elena's no good. Huh? What do you mean she's no good? I've been unable to get in touch with her for a few days now. She used to make it on time for each shoot, but this time's different. Are you saying she's slacking off? No. There's always been rumors that she was into drugs, so she might have disappeared. Flay, welcome. MAMIYA time, yes. I've been waiting for this all week. Yeah, we just started Niingaki, so you haven't missed much. Seriously? Did she have an hallucination and go off somewhere? A hallucination? Oh, whatever. Who cares about some model that disappeared? I'm assuming you have a replacement ready. You do, right? Yes, she's from the same agency and... Niingaki's mind completely tuned out the rest of their conversation. She was slowly focused on the girl who had disappeared. Good, just like that. Great pose, Mayuri. It's hella sexy. Say, cameraman. Oh, how pensive. What's it like to hallucinate? Well, I'm definitely hallucinating a bunch of little heart illusions around you right now. Come on, be serious. Well, I mean, it's a clear sign of mental illness, isn't it? Seeing things that aren't there is bad news, to say the least. Turn around for me. But What if that hallucination can talk? And what if it's fun to be around? Let's get some wind. And hey, that's even worse. You gotta be taken to a mental facility at that point. Don't ever do drugs, Mayuri. Not even once. The idea that they make you thinner is a lie. Relax. I'm not gonna do any. I'm perfect the way I am. Wow, what a shot. I'm perfect. Yes. Yes. I know. Yes, I'm going to school. Works also fine. Yes, it's okay. Don't worry, it's fine. Nothing's changed. No, I'm not being distant. Look, I know. Sorry. I'm really sorry. Yes, it's okay, really. Don't cry, Mom. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Niingaki. How long have you been there? I just came in. Huh. Your parents aren't okay with this? Is this some kind of rule that I have to share every last detail of my personal life with you? I mean, I'd understand if it came from the other two, but you're just as old as I am. We're both kids. We're both just kids. And what will even change if I tell you? See? Nothing. Fine, you made your point. I'm sorry. Talk to me if there's anything on your mind, though. I'd be happy to listen. Niigaki turned around and went back to her room. Toma, meanwhile, made a deep sigh and began reading the newspaper. Niigaki Mayuri. I'd always thought she was pretty, but I didn't expect her to be an actual magazine model. Why is she always so discontent, though? She looks way prettier with a smile on her face. I should watch her for a bit longer. There was a grove nearby. Niigaki stood before an odd-looking mound. It wasn't clear who made it. Even its purpose seemed shrouded in mystery. However, Niigaki would come to look at it whenever something happened. To her, it was like visiting Mamiya's grave that someone else had erected. She didn't want to believe he had died. And yet, she kept wondering if she would be happier if he had. What are you doing out here, Niigaki? It's Samejima. That's my name. Have you forgotten? Why are you here? I merely saw you walking in the forest. Despite how it may seem, I do happen to be a bit of a meddler. While Niigaki was scared out of her wits, Samejima remained as calm and still as the surface of a lake. What is this? I'm not sure. It's just kind of here. I didn't make it though. It's almost like Mamiya's grave. That laugh of yours is giving me the creeps. I'm not particularly fond of graves myself. Huh? There's nothing buried here, is there? It's quite a meaningless thing, really. I'm unable to pray or shed tears like you do. That's not what I... Oh, I'm making fun of you. If anything, it's what I feel is respect. You are able to do something that I cannot. For the first time ever, she felt her fear of this man abate. You're right. There's nothing buried here. I mean, Mamiya's just missing. Right? Come on, Samejima, say something. Yes. Indeed. The two looked up at the pine grove. The sky beyond the greenery was an unremarkably boring hue of gray. It's cold out here. Let's go back inside, Niigaki. Okay. Deep down, they knew for certain that they would never meet Mamiya ever again. That thought whirled within their hearts and melted into the ground, untouched by anyone. Chapter 5. Just try and fucking say that again. I know you're a bit of a bird brain, so I'll repeat it as much as you want. Or is it your ears that don't work? I'm home. Seems pretty heated in here. Should we put the vases in a safe spot? I already did. Might as well hide the TV too. They used it as a weapon last time. What caused this particular fight anyway? They're punching each other over their outlooks in life. Now that's something. It's just a front though. They wanted to know something about MAMIYA. They're such idiots. I'll go stop them. Clean up a broken TV would be a pain. Hey, you too. Huh? What do you want, Bach? Don't you fucking try and stop us. I must fix this person's line of thinking once and for all. Stop acting like children. It's not like your lives matter to one another, is it? Huh? The two stop in place. It does. Of course the stuff we all experience matters to us. All of us. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Don't pull Tom into your petty little fight. Oh? You two haven't figured out the meaning behind this place. What? What about you? Huh? You strung-up schoolboy. What about you? What kind of life did you lead, and how did you end up meeting MAMIYA? Say it. You act normal most of the time, but we're all birds of a feather here. That's the kind of place this house is meant to be. That's true. Stop it, Arisungawa. This isn't the time. I'm actually quite curious myself. Samajima. And I'm certain you feel the same. Samajima's gaze made Niingaki look away. Indeed, she had always wanted to know. Think about your life and relationship to MAMIYA. What do we have in common? And what are our differences? You don't have to say it, Toma. You don't have to say a word about our lives. It has nothing to do with MAMIYA coming back. Once MAMIYA comes back, we won't have to live like this anymore. We'll be able to finally leave this awful place. Huh. Man, kids these days are a bunch of limp dicks. Aren't you ashamed of having to hide behind a woman? Arisunawa! You don't have to say anything. Yet. We'll have you talk eventually, though. And man, will you talk. Hell, we're going to be needing an index. I'll talk too. So will this guy, Niingaki, everyone here. Will have us all remember the meaning, the reason why we're here. Make sure to polish up your oratory skills so it all goes nice and smooth. Alright? Sometimes things went well, at others they didn't. Through various exchanges they seemed to be drawing close, but then things began to crack. Every now and then they realized that MAMIYA was no longer with them. The realization would dawn on them while they listened to music, while they talked to classmates, while they ate breakfast. Right, Mommy! Samajima turned around, but there was no one there. I'm sorry, Time for food. Get the sauce. Are you seriously adding even more sauce? You'll get diabetes. Today's sunny side up fried eggs were twins. Something good might just happen. And maybe, perhaps our days will become sunnier too. They resumed eating as if that previous exchange hadn't even happened. They had all repeatedly experienced what Samajima did just then, and every time they were struck with worry. What if MAMIYA never existed to begin with? However, admitting that would make them lose the one place they would call home. Therefore, merely continued eating. What a twisted, unusual way to live together. It's bound to fall apart in a second now, but they act like they don't even realize it. Under these circumstances, it's It's only a matter of time until things go wrong and they start breaking down. Even now, things seem to be at a boiling point. They were surrounded by a thin sheet of ice, and it was covered in the cracks. Even so, they continued to dance without realizing it. The one who stood on those cracks the most was him. I can't take this. The echo of Tomo's voice filled the post-dinner living room. It was a rending voice that no one had heard him use before. Niigaki, Arisungawa, and Samejin were all at a loss for words. I'm saying I've had enough of this way of life. Our opinions, our rhythms, nothing matches up. It's all in dissonance. Mamiya doesn't even exist. The words that escaped his trembling lips stung like a knife in the guts. Only the ticking of a clock broke the ominous silence. No one said a thing. There wasn't anything to warm up the frozen atmosphere. Their minds went blank. None of them knew what to say, or even what was right. They didn't know what to do with their experiences. They didn't even have a firm sense of presence. Mamiya exists. If Mamiya doesn't exist, then what the hell have I been doing until now? You're right. Mamiya does exist. If he didn't, then that would mean I've always been alone. That the only person I've ever opened up to didn't even exist. No, I couldn't take that. Why would you even say something like that at this point? It was simple. We merely had to acknowledge and believe in Mamiya. And since we're here, so was Mamiya. That would make it impossible for others to prove that he didn't exist. It's a potent alibi. If the four of us with our shared experiences don't doubt it, then we can keep this shared illusion stable. You're the one who said we should decide on a set of rules. And now I'm telling you, it's become so twisted that we finally hit a boiling point. Don't you see the cracks spreading around us? We can't keep up this illusion anymore. You're all aware of it, aren't you? We were all passionate at the start, and the shock of Mamiya's disappearance allowed us to glean happiness from the fact that we found each other. But that passion soon waned over time, and the opinions of our surroundings began to worm their way into our ears. We began to realize the difference between us and society. Hey, has anyone besides us ever acknowledged Mamiya? No one even tried to search for such a person. It's almost like he never existed. Like he's been cut off from the rest of the world. You've experienced it, haven't you? Tomo threw a sharp glare at Niigaki and Arisungawa, making them both clam up. Indeed, they had experienced this before. Even though they looked around, I did experience it. I asked around, but only I knew Mamiya. But Mamiya never existed. Then what of our memories and the present that was built on them? I just need anyone to prove to me that Mamiya existed. To prove to me that I was right. Wasn't this whole place established for that purpose? And now you're saying we can't go on anymore? Bach's right. You've already come to realize it. So, what now? Are you saying we're just gonna forget all about Mamiya? I could never do that. The memories I've made with Mamiya are already a part of my life. And you're saying we should all just give up? Since we're unable to keep up the lie that Mamiya existed? We should just admit that the person was fictional all along? I need to blow my nose. Hold on a second. If we do that, we would just... Then what do you think we should do? How can we put a period at the end of this reality? We should just end it once and for all. We need to put an end to this twisted way of living together and stop searching for MAMIYA's presence. The time has come to wake up from this dream. It's time to face reality head on. The reality that we're just mentally ill. We're isolated from society, and we are the ones in the wrong. You're saying that we're wrong. I already know that. I know that. But if we break down, if we play along with society, then what will become of our MAMIYA? An entire person will literally disappear in the strictest sense of the word, and no one will be any wiser. You like me the way I am now, don't you? Oh, don't make a face like that. I'm sorry, Satoru. The feelings MAMIYA gave us are more than real. Mayuri, don't force yourself. Go at your own pace. Cry when you want, and don't be so tense around me. No one will hurt your pride here. Since we're the only ones who know MAMIYA would vanish the moment we looked away. Toma, once you get to a point where you can talk about everything that's happened to you with a smile on your face, I'm sure you'll become stronger. MAMIYA! 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 No, MAMIYA! We're the only ones who know of MAMIYA. MAMIYA doesn't exist in this world. We're mentally ill people detached from society. So, since we can't play along with society, we have no choice but to break it. Let's use our power and spread the word of MAMIYA to many, many people. MAMIYA must become like the scales of a song everyone knows, like the laws of a country, like the three needs of mankind. Our goal is to create a situation where MAMIYA is known by everyone. Is a new person speaking? Yeah, okay. MAMIYA saved us, so now it's our time to help those in need. And every time we do that, MAMIYA will be remembered. With gentleness and broad-mindedness, let's help others. Like the giant moon that sat above Tokyo Tower that night. I always read that weird. Okay, that's just the end of the sentence. Like the giant moon that sat above Tokyo Tower that night. Okay. Why are they so fixated on MAMIYA? MAMIYA is not but an illusion that doesn't even exist in their world. The moment I muttered that, I felt a certain discomfort in my left arm. What? My hand is itchy? Okay. I think I'm gonna skip so we can save time. And I'll just get right back to... I'll stop when we get back to the pink house. Since I've already reread this in Samajima's story in the last stream. Okay. Say, Mayuri, is it true you don't have a boyfriend? Oh, it's true. I never heard anything like that. She's always away when we're talking about it. What a waste. Does she have high standards or something? What about me then? Huh? Mayuri. Erica, this isn't what you told me. What do you mean? You didn't tell me there'd be men here. I didn't? Oh, whatever. The more the merrier, you know. Well, it's your birthday party, so I can just find if you're okay with it. Look, I'm sorry. I know you're not okay with guys, but do try to enjoy yourself, okay? Mayura smiled at the girl holding the paper cup in her hand. She wanted to be as kind as maybe it would have been to her. Okay, and happy birthday. I love you. Thanks, love you too. Mayuri, come here. Huh? Hey, get your hands off me. Oh, how to Gabriella, welcome in. Yep, Niingaki. The only girl in the pink house. Shh, keep it down. Look, your dear Erica's here too. Mm? She's already having a good time, so here you go. Wouldn't want you missing out. Stop! Whoa, hey, you're spilling all over the floor. Oh man, where's the dustpan? Erica! Wait. Oh, she's already out of it, so don't expect a reaction. Huh? Erica? Man, I really didn't expect Mayuri to come to Erica's birthday. Oops. Okay. I've had my eye on you for a while now, you know. Don't touch me! Oh, wow. I guess you really do hate guys. You a purity freak or something? A lesbian, maybe? It's because you're nasty. Whatever you say. We'll see how long that feistiness of yours can last. Stop it! Whoa, she's even prettier up close. MAMIYA! 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 MAMIYA? Who's that? Your boyfriend? Well, he sure as shit ain't coming to help ya. Help! MAMIYA! You've always been there for me! MAMIYA! MAMIYA! God, you're annoying. It's your own fault for picking such a shitty boyfriend. No matter how much she struggled, she couldn't overpower a man. With this body, she would always end up losing to them. Why? MAMIYA, you said you'd always take my side. So why didn't you come to save me? She took a thorough shower and went to her room without even drying her hair. The only thing she heard was the hum of a nearby rager. Let's move on to our next letter. It's from the pen name Flashy Spectacles. I am deep into my 20s, but I can't for the life of me get a boyfriend. Recently, though, I've been spending most of my time with an imaginary person. My parents keep nagging me about marriage, but I'm not interested. I did my best to be all beautiful for him. Even my colleagues have noticed a change. Every day I spend with him is wonderful. I really don't think there's anything wrong with a love like mine. What do you think? It's pretty impressive that you managed to take care of your appearance for an imaginary guy, but at the end of the day, he's just an illusion, right? Seeing how you've gone out of your way to make yourself pretty, to pretty yourself up, why not find a real man and enjoy a normal, everyday romance? I mean, an hallucination would never be able to hold you in his arms. By the way, I also enjoy fantasizing about what a perfect girl would be like. Wait, that makes me the same as her. Anyway, moving on. The radio got switched off in mid-sentence. Droplets of water trickled down her still wet hair as a heavy silence hung over the room. Really? Within the darkness, she embraced her slender legs and began to tremble. A hallucination. Would never be able to hold you in his arms. Yeah, Mommy, it's just an hallucination. Nothing more. I'll admit that I'm just a mentally ill person who's seen an illusion. But that illusion has given me so much. He's given me more than people that actually exist. He's had a huge impact on me. You've absolutely no right to make fun of him. None at all. You're all boring, mundane people. You've no right to mock MAMIYA. But even you... Tomo's writing a story about MAMIYA, though. I can't. Arisugawa, your lip's bleeding. Sorry, I just can't write my story. Huh? I'm utterly unable to convey MAMIYA's qualities, charms, humor, or knowledge. Do we have a, does Nigaki ever talk about, how she feels about the people in the pink house despite the fact that they men? Has she ever talked about that? I don't know if she's talked about that. But she has a general aversion to men because of her experiences. But I don't know if she's ever like talked, mentioned, or indicated her, her aversion or her overcoming that aversion, to stay in this house. So it's just the fact that they all bonded by MAMIYA is that just not. It's kind of like overshadowing her initial aversion to men. But I don't know. Like I don't think she's ever mentioned it. Unless she's about to tell a story. She's gonna tell a story, but oh, why? Why can't you do it? Don't give up, Arisugawa. If you can't do it, then we do it. Come on, just do it. Write the story already. Why can't you just do it? Ingaki. Why? So it seems that not a single one was able to feel it. We couldn't overcome society. We lost. All we did was realize how utterly weak we've been. Just the act of living is making my heart wear out. It's always been like this. It's what is so hard to live in. The only reason I've managed to get by was because MAMIYA was there. No matter how many memories we share, none of you are MAMIYA. There's no point to anything if MAMIYA is no longer around. Why? If MAMIYA has no shape, that means she can stay around without ever dying. Why aren't you here, MAMIYA? Why didn't you take me with you? A world without you has no meaning whatsoever. Why? This is a lot to endure. The afternoon moon above was so much fainter than at night. Oh, MAMIYA is so far away. The disappointment had turned to fatigue, and soon enough, they no longer had the will to muster up any more courage again. MAMIYA, I'm back. What? You visited MAMIYA's grave. Hmm? Yeah? What of it? Nigaki, you know there's nothing in that forest, right? The mound there? Sure, it's marked, but there's nothing actually buried underneath. Mm. Are you going to act like MAMIYA's dead? We won't learn anything if you keep silent, Betty. Shut up. All of you. Shut up! This really doesn't concern you now, does it? Samejima? It shouldn't matter to you whether she goes or what she thinks of the forest. Really? But Samejima, it actually does matter. All four of us are linked to Mamiya through our feelings. If that's not a reason enough for us to care, I don't know what is. You're the one who reminded us of the purpose of this house. Or what? Are you going to tell us how Mamiya differs from how your Mamiya differs from ours? It's fine. Iengaki. Samejima, you've done enough. Yeah, you're right. A shadow flickered. A beautiful face became warmed. You want to know the story between me and Mamiya? All right, I'll tell you. This is what you've been wanting to know, right? You filthy men. I'll fulfill your wish. Um, how did I do it? How did I do it? Welcome back, Mayuri. Yeah, I'm home, Mom. I was born beautiful. That fact is extremely important to the story between me and Mamiya. There were girls who thought themselves pretty and wanted to be idols despite not. Wait. There were girls who thought themselves pretty and wanted to be idols despite not looking all that great. However, I knew that I was above them all. I was a genuinely beautiful girl. This objective truth had been drilled into me ever since I was little. My parents did that, too, especially my mother. She always treated me like a doll. You're such a wonderful girl, Mayuri. I'm so happy to have you. She would often brush my hair while I sat in her warm lap. I inherited my wavy hair from her, and she didn't even allow me to cut it. My only source of joy in life came from the story she would read to me after thoroughly brushing my hair. This always reminds me of Rapunzel. The brushing hair and the relationship that the two of them have reminds me of Rapunzel and Mother Gothel. Vaguely. We both wore princess-like nightgowns and lay in a fancy bed. Read Momotaro for me. Again? But we have Thumbelina and the Little Mermaid, too. I want Momotaro. You must really love that story. I'll buy you some peaches next time. We'll eat them together. She then began reading that story in that gentle, soothing voice of hers. A long time ago, in a land far, far away, there was an old man and an old lady. My father was a company employee who could hardly be labeled handsome. It seemed as though he had fallen in love and married my mother purely from her looks. She didn't appear to mind, though. She was simply happy that a beautiful young daughter, born into a similarly gorgeous mother, would be turning more and more beautiful as time went on. I dressed like a doll and never played outside. That was my rule. After entering kindergarten, I gradually realized that people were reacting differently to me. Everyone would be turning their heads to me, especially the adults. They stared at me in shock and smiled when our eyes met. At first, I'd taken it for granted. I believed that everyone in this world was allowed to indulge in such happiness. However, I was gravely mistaken. My looks, my beauty, they were talents only a select few had possessed. I was praised every time I passed someone, and was appraised on the regular. This fate, this discrepancy, it had been there since I was born. I don't want to stop. Shut up. Leave me alone. Stop it. In a desolate corner of the old high school building, I was assaulted by several male students, but no matter how hard I tried to resist, the bodies would simply not budge. When I tried to raise my voice, they covered my mouth with their hands. Shut up, damn it! Don't fucking move! How many times had this happened? How many times was I forced to curse my own lack of strength? Or my beauty? Before I knew it, my vision had turned blurry with tears. Actually, no. That was only a reaction to not being able to properly breathe. I wasn't frustrated. I wasn't broken. If I allowed them to break even my spirit, I would have been unable to maintain myself. Even as my consciousness began to fade, I continued to struggle. Suddenly, a large shadow appeared out from the corner, accompanied by footsteps. Shit, it's a teacher. What? Make a run for it. The moment they said that, the boys let me go and ran in the other direction. With my mouth finally freed, I filled my lungs with air. The tall shadow approached me as I continued hyperventilating. Hey, are you... Don't look at me! Don't look! Stay away! Stay away! I cried out with every last ounce of strength I had left in my body. This was so embarrassing. He was a man before he was a teacher, so he obviously pretended to care while actually staring at my body. I knew this well by now. Male teachers were often inconsiderate and only pretended to care about how students felt. Put this on. He placed a lab coat on my lap. Dumbfounded, I turned around. The man stood there while looking away from me. Go away. I'm telling you to go away! In a rush of emotion, I shouted to get him away from me. They might return, so I gotta stay here. The strength of that voice made me fall silent. Fix your clothes. I'll take you to the nurse's office. I won't look at you. I won't hurt your pride. While still looking away from me, the man carefully led me to the nurse's office on the first floor. Seems like you're mostly okay. There are only some minor bruises, and it doesn't look like they'll leave a mark either. You must have been so scared. Could you recognize the people who did this? Do you know their names, perhaps? I shook my head. I see. At any rate, do come to me if you need anything. You might occasionally remember what happened today, and it be painful. But don't hesitate to rely on me if you need someone to listen. I'll be off now. After closing the door, I bit my lip in chagrin. What nonsense. The doctor wasn't there to help me when I actually needed. That was just talk. You hungry? I looked at the source of the voice. It was the man from before. I'm gonna take a good look at him again. Actually, I'll wait until it highlights the spray. You're still here? Okay. Yeah. Nice. Looks nice. You like a hoagie? I think they're great. I don't need your pity, if that's what this is supposed to be. Rumble. You like a hoagie? I don't mind them. he, the man opened the door to the second science classroom, and invited me in. Probably out of consideration for me, he kept the door open as he began boiling the water. There we go, a hoagie. Can't have Japanese treats like these without green tea. Science teachers actually use alcohol lamps to boil? He gave me a rather old-fashioned cup. The tea inside was cheap, but it warmed me up. We continued to eat a hoagie with the sale seal on them. He probably had lots of questions for me, but remained silent, probably to allow me to process things. What's your name? What? This guy. Was he really that into his hoagie? Oh, why am I saying a hoagie? Wait. Ohagi. Ohagi. I can't believe I've been mispronouncing that. Ohagi, that's the name. Also, I forgot what hockey meant, so I'm about to look it up. Ohagi, also called botamochi, is a wangashi Japanese confection made with glutinous rice. So it's basically as a type of mochi. White rice and sweet adzuki paste, red bean paste. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do remember that now. Ohagi. I was a little annoyed by that, but I realized I had to be nicer to the person that literally just saved me, so I cleared my throat and spoke up again. May I ask your name? My name? I don't believe we've met before. Oh, right. I don't teach second year, so that would explain it. I'm MAMIYA. I teach chemistry. MAMIYA. MAMIYA. You're just gonna repeat it like that? His shoulders drooped, and I just couldn't help but smile. You know, he kind of reminds me of, now that I think about it, he kind of reminds me of Niingaki, his expressions a little bit. Give him a little bit Niingaki vibes. Not Niingaki, Arisungawa vibes, I mean. Like this smile, this little like grin that he has that opens up on one side of his face, and his glasses remind me of Arisungawa. I know your name, though. Niingaki Mayuri from Class 2D. Well, why? You're famous even among the teachers, you know. Imagine them talking about me made me feel unpleasant. They say you're bad at memorization. Your chemistry scores are particularly awful. Well, what? I looked at him in shock. He gave me a wide grin with some red bean paste from the hockey still sticking from his mouth. Yeah, it's like, yeah, he has that one expression. Make sure you study when you get home, okay? I didn't hear your answer. Okay. I answered him, albeit reluctantly. MAMIYA nodded in satisfaction. All eyes were glued to me when I opened the door to the classroom. Look, it's Mayuri. She's so cute. Let's go talk to her. She'll probably just ignore us. Man, her tits are huge. Wonder what cup they are. She's got a great body. I could totally see her as a gravure model. I wouldn't be surprised to see her in some magazine. Stop that, you dumbass. I did feel like I stood out in class. I swore to stop trying to make friends all the way back to middle school. I had no male or female friends, and all I did was silently listen to my teachers. I never once felt lonely, though. And besides, this was much easier than having to deal with the frequent clashes that came with human interaction. As classes went on, I had nothing but that teacher on my mind. MAMIYA, that spectacled, unreliable-looking teacher. Thankfully, even if I didn't pay attention during the classes, I was beautiful enough to get away with it. He said he was a chemistry teacher. How did he teach? What was his writing like? Did he help other students like he helped me? He was a strange teacher. Alright, that should be good. Sometime after the bell rang, I stuck my head out the girls' bathroom. The hallway is always wrapped in unpleasant silence, while the students in the other classes were being taught. We had gym for the 5th period. I didn't want to go, so I hid in the bathroom and waited. Where should I go? The garden, maybe? As I wandered around the hallway, I saw a tall silhouette ahead. That haircut, that lab coat. I squinted and started observing him. But then he went and dropped the obscene amount of files he was carrying. Oh man. Why did you have to pick up so many of them? I crouched down to help MAMIYA pick up the files. I thought I could make it work this time. Seriously? Jesus. Alright, that's everything. Thanks for the help. Don't mention it. So, Niigaki Mayuri, what exactly are you doing out here? Should you be in class? His weekly aura suddenly vanished. He looked at me with a sharp gleam in his eyes. I was on my way to the, nurse's office? That's in the other direction, though. Well, I just came down the stairs and saw you dropping the files, so I figured I'd help out. My desperate attempt to come up with an excuse made MAMIYA chuckle. I was initially shocked, but immediately realized that what a dumb, embarrassing thing I just said. Anyway, can you help me carry these to the science room? Sure. So, how are you holding up? Fine. I only got a few minor bruises, but that's about it. I see. I'll talk to the others to try to make sure that something like this never happens again. Will you now? I didn't expect much from teachers. Whenever they said something like that, it was usually nothing more than empty talk. I don't have any friends. And besides, I only came to school because I have nothing better to do. He ignored my mutter and looked at the TV. I wonder who's gonna win. He was watching a baseball match while snacking on dried fish. What a hopeless teacher. I glared at him with all the disgust I could muster, and then the commercials began, and one of them captured my attention. Oh, I know this! It's a card game that got an anime. It was the one with transforming cars that battled each other. Different cars had different compatibility with each other, and the various transformations made it really popular with the boys. If it's getting commercials now, that means it's still popular, right? Oh, yeah, I see. Ah, I have that one. The card for that car? Yeah. There are some cards thrown into a bush in the park. I picked up the ones I liked. I see. So it's still being used. It might actually be a popular card. Have you ever played the card game itself? Yeah. You have to have a lot of cards to play it. Just a few won't do. I asked my mom to buy me some while we were shopping, but she says that we get tarot cards instead. That's fine though. I don't have anyone to play against. And tarot fortune telling is fun in its own right. I don't have these cards either. But I think I can play with normal playing cards just fine. Wanna try? Well, if you insist, then sure. Isn't this a bit unrefined, though? It's popular among the younger girls now. Oh, am I falling behind? I should really study some more from your sake, Mayuri. She gathered herself in a heartwarming way. Mother was as kind to me as ever. I dressed like a princess and took advantage and took care to only eat low sugar foods. My clothes had all been picked up by Mom. She greatly enjoyed decorating me. She also did my makeup, my hair, and made me wear dresses she was fond of. Having a good look at me when she was done seemed to be one of her great pleasures in life. Oh, my Yuri, my sweet, sweet Mayuri, I love you so much. Never leave my side, okay? Well, it reminds me of hold on a second. It reminds me of don't ever ask to leave this tower again. You know? Rapunzel, yes. Don't ever ask to leave this tower again. Yes, Mother. I love you very much, dear. I love you more. I love you most. That's what it reminds me of. Oh my gosh. I was used to hugging. She's used to her hugging me by now. She'd done this for as long as I can remember. Me too. I love you too, Mom. Deep down, though, I found myself really embarrassed. It had become a daily habit of mine to visit the school science classroom after school. MAMIYA would always come over for tea and snacks. The food he prepared was nothing special, but is it okay for a teacher to do this? As long as no one finds out. Weird. But I felt like he was giving me a special treatment. It made me so happy that I could almost burst. We were alone in here. He gave me green tea boiled in a beaker. We discussed generally unremarkable things. I imagine he must be really good at cooking and serving tea since he's a chemist. Since cooking and baking and stuff like that is basically chemistry, as people often say, he must know the exact temperatures and the exact proportions and measurements to make the most delicious foods. I would want to taste food made by a chemist. I feel like it would be really good. However, it was my first time actually talking to someone like this. His carefree, gentle voice, the watch on his inner wrist, the feel of his chalk-stained lab coat. All of it was so new to me. Even the taste of salt around my lips seemed like a wonderful thing if MAMIYA was there. Oh, it's gotten quite late. It really has. Already dark out. See you then. See you tomorrow then. Sure. Take care. Hmm? Thanks. Don't mention it. Mayuri, where have you been? It's so late. What? It's only 7. I was just chatting with a friend. Really? Poor girl. Must be scary to walk around in the dark all by yourself. I want to call it scary, but okay. Huh? Where's Dad? He had to leave on business. He'll be home by tomorrow, though. Oh, I'll be looking forward to the souvenirs. Say, Mayuri, why don't we take a bath together? What? What? We should enjoy ourselves while your father's away, you know. Look, I've had some bubble bath. I don't want to. It's embarrassing. But why? We used to bathe together all the time. Yeah, but I was little then. Things are different now. Well, all right. I suppose I'll just have a bubble bath alone. There's absolutely no way. I'm going to take a bath with her. Good morning, Mayuri. My cute little Mayuri. Please promise me you'll stay the pretty little rose you are now. So, Mom, yes? I want to quit being a model. the warm atmosphere between us had frozen over in a split second. Why? Did something bad happen? Not really, no. Then why? Is there something else you'd like to do instead? Like piano, ballet, flower arrangement, perhaps? Um, I want to cut my hair. I've always had it long, you know. I want to try what it. I want to try what it'd be like to cut it short for once. Mayuri. I mean, that's what's popular right now. Come on, Mom. No. You can't do that, Mayuri. Hair is a woman's crown and glory. Besides, do you know any other girl with hair as beautiful and as wavy as yours? Listen, Mayuri, beauty exists for others' sake. For everyone's sake. It does? The least creepy mom. Oh my gosh. I think she's pretty creepy. I feel like that's an understatement. You're lovely, beautiful, and that alone is a wonderful thing. So please, Mayuri, don't say things like wanting to cut your hair or quit modeling. Beauty existed for everyone's sake. But did you know, Mom? Did you know that my beauty was the very reason men hurt me? It prevented me from doing what I wanted. The cars I picked up at the park was still in the drawer. Yeah. I'm sorry for saying all those weird things. Mayuri. Gosh, look at the time. I'm doing a day shift, so I have to go now. Okay. Goodbye. Take care. Mom, I actually... Even so, I chosen tarot cards over the card-themed card game. That was what Mother wanted after all, and it made her happy. Why couldn't the world's people live without God? We were the peak of all animals here, and we were all subject to foolish worries. We needed someone above to show us the way. People were helpless on their own. They were weak, and had no choice but to rely on others. So weak. I'm so weak. I was also controlled by my mother, and I found a peace in that. I was such a weak person. Oh, Mayuri. Mamiya. What's wrong? You're making a gloomy face. I don't want to go home. Why? Did something bad happen? I don't want to see my mom. You shouldn't say that. Let me stay over at your place. Yeah, let's just go with that. You're single, right? There's no problem then. Mayuri. Wait, do you actually have a lover? I don't mind that either. We could just forget all about it after it's over. I mean, a chance like this won't come again. What was I saying? I won't mind. What was even coming out of my mouth? I won't mind if it's you. The sound of rain was so annoying. The side of the window was cold. Was Mamiya always leaning against the wall while he talked? And why did it seem like I was being cornered? You're the last person I wanted to hear that from. But this is all I have. There is no value to me other than my looks. So I have to make use of it. Otherwise, I'll be completely worthless. Before I could finish that sentence, Mamiya slapped me across the cheek. Huh? No, no way. What? Did you just slap my face? Seriously? Huh? My face enchanted everyone. Just passing by people would make them ecstatic. They ran to me with bouquets in hand. It was a treasure shared by everyone. And yet he... I don't care. You need to cool your head. Go die in a ditch, you sorry excuse for a teacher. I'll tell everyone you raped me. They'll kick you out of school real fast. Do whatever you want. I hate you. And with that, I stormed out of the room. How could he? I was behind the stairs on the first floor, crying under the diagonal concrete. The concrete was moist and cold, rubbing my legs with more and more warmth. I was cold, sad, and I felt like I was alone in the world. I just don't want to go home. I considered spending the night here. I would avoid the security patrols. I would spend the entire night here in this empty school building. They could panic and run looking for me for all I cared. MAMIYA, my mom would believe I ran away and regret everything they said to me. I'll never forgive them. This is supposed to be my way of taking revenge. I didn't think about what would happen afterwards. I was too frustrated and entirely focused. Too frustrated, entirely too proud to do that. I'll never, ever forgive them. Really? You won't? I heard someone from up the stairs. It was a reassuring voice, and just hearing it nearly brought me to tears. Hey, Mayuri. You're there, aren't you? I wanted him to go away. I just told him that I wouldn't forgive him, and yet hearing his voice made me waver this easily. Mayuri. Come on. If you tell on me, I'll be in huge trouble. Huh? A teacher that eats snacks, watches baseball, slacks all the time won't go well by them. I was shocked. This man was just so... I might be unable to come to school ever again. So please, Mayuri, let's make up. I don't care what happens to you. And it's not like I've forgiven you or anything. But I would feel bad if you could have come to school again. Okay, good night, Flay. Hope you have a good rest. Sweet dreams. Thank you for stopping by and staying as long as you could. Hope to see you next time. I slipped out from below the... I said that. Wait, did I? I slipped out from below the stairs and looked up from where the voice came. MAMIYA made a surprisingly warm smile. Me? Man, it's so late. The main door must be closed by now. MAMIYA. Should we stay the night in school? Huh? It was winter, meaning the sun had set early. The rain clouds above had drifted off into a far distance. In that place sat a crescent moon, its curve like a wound upon the purple sky. MAMIYA and I looked through the window of the heated classroom. He treated me to some dried snacks he reserved. Unbelievable, he was treating school property like his own. Say, MAMIYA, have you ever felt like you weren't comfortable in your own home? Not really. Oh, I'm jealous. I was too busy trying not to get kicked out. I wonder if that's true. I wonder if he's talking about his time in the trichiliocosm. I wonder if he's talking about he was he was wanting to be a rule breaker in the trichiliocosm. Not trichiliocosm. I mean, well, it seems like it's the same thing, but I mean the like the library in the heavens, the spectators come from. I wonder if he was a rule breaker, and that seemed like kind of referencing the fact that he was trying not to get kicked out. Teachers are so unfair. Hmm. They know the students' family backgrounds, but we students don't know anything about the teachers. You always help me out, but what about the reverse? I would help you out too. But you already do. That's a lie. No, it isn't. When MAMIYA looked up at the moon, I did the same. One day, I'll go back to trichiliocosm. What's that? The moon. Is that something third-year chemistry students learn? I don't know. It's probably not in the textbooks. The trichiliocosm. You won't take me there, will you? Look, I know you just end up going back there no matter how hard I cry and wail. Mayuri, the trichiliocosm wouldn't suit you. Why? I can decide if it does. Why don't you use that energy and make up with your mother? Shut up. Nothing will change unless you actually do something. Take action, and things will change. Whether they go in a good way or a bad direction is up to you. Stop lecturing me. I am a teacher, though, in case you forgot. MAMIYA smiled and rubbed my head. There was a genuine care, as well as a clear sense of rejection in his behavior. I was irritated by my own powerlessness. The cherry blossoms danced in the wind. Those the graduation certificates in hand would never come back here, and I would never meet this man again. In a deserted area behind the school, I abandoned my place in the spotlight to keep him all to myself. The graduating students had messed around with him a lot, as evidenced by his scruffy hair. Look at him. MAMIYA, bend forward. He did as told. As he brushed his hair, a cherry petal landed on his head. I know. I like the. I picture the wind blowing the cherry blossoms in spring. It looks so nice. I almost picked it up, but instead I left it as it was. Assuming I'd had enough, he moved his head, which made the petal fall. He called my name with a smile, and I found it so unfair. You can't just do that. Do what? You're being so unfair right now. Huh? What do you mean? Did he really think it would move my heart to be called by my first name? This man easily stripped away the layers of cold, spiky armor I built up. And when it all melted away and exposed my bare, naked self, what then? Both of them are so pretty. MAMIYA. MAMIYA. I could no longer keep my unbridled feelings in check. Struggling to keep holding the tears, I looked him straight in the eye. I don't know why, but I felt like I had to burn this image into my mind. If I didn't, I will certainly come to regret it. Or so I thought. That happened the spring of this year, and turns out I was right. A few months after that, MAMIYA suddenly vanished. I looked in the staff room, searched the entire school, but he was nowhere to be found. Excuse me. Niingaki, what's wrong? It's about MAMIYA. Do you happen to know where Mr. MAMIYA is? Mr. MAMIYA? He teaches chemistry. He wears a lab coat and glasses. Do you know him? Can't say that I do. Did we ever have someone like that working here? Hmm? Ah, Niingaki, wait! Why? How? Why doesn't anyone know him? I looked at the list of teachers, students, and other staff, but couldn't find MAMIYA's name anywhere. I even looked all over town, but found no trace of him whatsoever. I remember the cherry blossoms dancing in the breeze, as the cold northern winds of December ruffled my skirt. Well, satisfied? My story might not be much compared to yours, but still, Tom was right. I actually wish that MAMIYA were dead. As time went on, I gradually realized that it'd be probably easier to think that he were. I mean, if MAMIYA never actually existed, if he was merely something I hallucinated, it would mean that I never actually had anyone who genuinely understood me. And so, I went to that grave despite not even knowing who erected it. I went there to pray and to cry, hoping that MAMIYA really was buried underneath that soil. Will he really return? Will he come back for me from that trichiliocosm or whatever? If he does ever show himself in front of me again, I'd love to play cards with him. Unfulfilled Mayuri. Finished Downfall in Ingaki's Route, Chapter 6. You got the achievement. Yay. So, let's save. And then we will go back to the main menu. To do Arisungawa. I chose to serve Arisungawa. What kind of person was he exactly? With that question in mind, I allowed myself to sink deeper into the story. Chapter 5, Side Arisungawa. Arisungawa. He was a problem child of the house and never hesitated to instigate others. Despite that, he was a children's author. Huh? I have to start editing it. I wasn't told about this at the last meeting. Well, even if I'm going to start changing it now, I need to mentally prepare. Right. Okay, I'll do what I can. Are you kidding me? Now this is something. It's rare for Arisungawa to be crushed so one-sidedly. He's getting what he deserves. So, what can be done before the day after tomorrow? The place where the new character appears has to be the sea, so the cave description will have to go, and that's basically a complete rewrite. Arisungawa, you're being too loud. Oh, shit. Guess I just gotta do it. Arisungawa, what are you planning to do with that cream puff and yunker? What's a yunker? A yunker. What is that? Oh. It's a health tonic. Sold in Japan. I feel like I looked that up the last time I encountered that, but I forgot. So it's kind of like a supplement drink. I have a bad feeling about this. Raven is eating. There it is. What is he doing, Iingaki? Something you shouldn't imitate. Alright, now don't you dare enter my room. None of us ever even tried. Don't even open the door. Got it? See ya. A few hours later, Raven is eaten. Like not even like onomatopoeia, like something like that. It's just ravenous eating. It's morning now. Did I think I would get that draft ready? I guess he fell asleep by now. Well, I'd like to wake him up, but he said not to open the door. Let's just leave him alone and go to school, Toma. A few more hours later, in the evening. Hey! Why didn't you jackasses wake me up? It's already evening. I have tons of missed calls to my rep. Hey, are you listening? Bah, my you. Oh? Okay, he said that. I just think I will slowly close the door. Why must he be there of all people? Shit. Fuck. I'll do it. Just fucking do it. Clutching the pack of cigarettes, I just think I would turn back towards the screen of the word processor. The next day, I just think I was in the living room. It looked like his soul had left him. He sat on the sofa with 3 cigarettes in his mouth, and his 3? Yeah, 3 at one time. Goodness gracious. And his eyes wide open. I just think I will please smoke outside or under the ventilation fan. He won't hear you. He's probably unconscious. What a nuisance. Can't believe he actually writes books for children. I wonder what kind of stories he writes. I'll never let you lot read them. He suddenly shouted that before promptly falling back down on the sofa. Is he that against it? Seems that way. Personally, I'd love for you guys to hear my performances. Authors are so difficult to understand. Authors are so difficult to understand. This is honestly our everyday life. God, how do I put this? He's a foul-mouthed oddball, but I can't bring myself to hate him. In fact, I'm becoming more and more interested in him. I should continue watching him for a while longer. Will you give it a rest already? Iingaki sounded an indignant yell. When Asinawa and Samejima simultaneously turned around, they saw both Iingaki and Toma standing in front of them, looking rather imposing. But this asshole. But you're both guilty and you're both getting punished. You there, musician guy. Stop this hysterical. You're the hysterical ones here. Hysterical. Cool your jets, you two. In the end, Toma made them both leave. It was meant to be a fun time. It was supposed to decorate, have a party, celebrate, and make some memories. It's clearly your fault, dude. Is that really the first thing you should say here? You're the one who never listens. And who laid out those unreasonable conditions, huh? Who tried to get them through? Yeah, some work you're doing, you state dog. I can make you accept those conditions here and now if you wish. Oh, you want to go? Fine by me. Let's just... A third voice called out to them. This is the address that ordered 3 value pizzas, correct? I have them right here. The two frozen free fighting position. I don't know if I did this voice the last time the Deliver Man came, but I thought it'd be perfect this time. Like, I always see those. Did you watch those American cartoons? And there's like this young teenage pizza delivery guy that always has this surfer dude voice. I just felt inspired to do that just now. The two froze in a pre-fighting position. They did recall that someone had ordered pizzas. They were also hungry. In fact, their hunger was also one of the reasons they were fighting. Is this the right place? It is. You've got the right house, buddy. We're out here waiting for you just because this neighborhood's kind of difficult to navigate. Oh, I see. Thank you. The people inside will settle the bill. Oh, and we'll hold on to these pizzas for you. I'm sure they're plenty heavy. Okay. Here you go. Adisingawa took the pizza boxes from the delivery boy. Excuse me, please pay for the pizza. By the time the blues boy rang the bell, the two had already taken the pizzas and run off. Wow, this is some cheap-ass pizza. The base is so thin. I hate thin crust pizza. I don't know if I said this last time, but I don't like thin crust pizza. I need the thickness of my crust. I need to have a thick base, and I need to have a fluffy, soft, but thick crust. Thin crust pizza, flatbread pizza is not my style. The cheese can stretch pretty good, though. The two sat on the stairs of the pedestrian bridge and ate the 3 pizzas. The people passing by were surprised at first, but ultimately ignored them. They easily pictured Niigaki going crazy with anger while Tomo reluctantly surrendered the money. This road was right next to the national highway. It was pretty busy, too. The hot pizza they ate had lost all warmth by now, and they were working through that rubber-like cheese. Oh gosh, I hate that too. I hate when the pizza gets cold and the melted pizza solidifies and it's like that. And it doesn't really stick. It doesn't really melt with the bread. I suppose we should head back now. I ain't going back with you. I think I stood up and prepared to go in a different direction. Where are you heading? What's it to you? What's it to you? Make no mistake, I could care less. I care less about you than any other living being on this earth. However, where do you think we can go? Mamiya doesn't exist. True. Only brats would be wishing for something that was not real. Exactly. I am, however, somewhat puzzled. It's almost as if we're trying to replace a whole person. You mean by living there? It's as though we're trying to fill the hole left by Mamiya with someone else. I'm not entirely sure whether that's right or wrong. I always left such judgments to Mamiya. People who can't become independent are the worst of them all. Do you think it's right to let Mamiya fade from our memories? Of course not. I suppose that we adults have no choice but to accept what exists. Samajima finished the last of his pizza with a single bite. Oh, this is awful. I have to tell them never to order from that place again. Good idea. In fact, they should be thanking us for eating this garbage for them. Indeed. Ha. This might have been the first time they joined each other in laughter like this. Their mouths were full of the taste of cheese, while their hands and lips were wet with oil. We ate the main dish. What do we do now? Get some KFC or something? Brats love that. I actually enjoy their biscuits too. Me too. Me too. But Popeyes is what I usually think of when I think about biscuits. Whatever, dude. They were then scolded quite harshly. A boy younger than them both made it kneel at the front door. Adesunga would complain about knee pain, but Toma didn't care. Samajima, on the other hand, said nothing and seemed very collected. When it was time to stand up, though, he took several steps longer than Adesunga. Tomani and Lucky enjoyed the fried chicken they presented them. Adesunga and Samajima, however, was sitting at the different edges of the sofa while eating their biscuits. Where can we go, huh? Adesunga eyed the others as they were enjoying the movie and pondered the question from before. Chapter 5. Okay, we've already read this. Isn't it? Isn't that a shame? Ain't that a shame? Mm-mm-mm. Sometimes things went well, at others they didn't. Okay, actually I read this too. Okay, we've seen this. Okay, we can skip this too. I love the librarian's troubled, shocked expressions. There's a bit of since she's supposed to be so calm and composed as a librarian, seeing her with that expression, you know, adds a new dimension to her. Oh, so you got a new story. Yeah, this one's great. Oh, I'd love for it to be present to reach as many people as possible. It's rare for you to say that. I can't wait to read it. The editor put down the draft. This moment always made him tense up. Adesungawa, I'm sorry, but I cannot let the story be released as it is. Huh? Boo. Why? Because it's not down to earth enough. Children's novels and even fantasy works are all just adventures that teach something to the readers. I mean, this is an interesting story, no doubt about that, but I just don't see what it could teach the children. That's... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm glad you didn't continue. Thank you for not making this the fault of the readers. Is it possible to give the story a happy ending? The story... Oh. Holding the draft in hand, he walked under the gray skies. His story was rejected as it was without any actual editing. Oh, this song. This song. Is this... I haven't heard this before, right? Is this new? The story was, in fact, about Adesungawa MAMIYA. It's pretty obvious that what he wished to convey with it. He wanted to prove that MAMIYA existed. He actually worked really hard to make that come through to the story. He spent a long time thinking about it. He wanted to give the story a happy ending. He truly did, but no matter how much he thought about it, I think I would be unable to give it a positive conclusion. There's no need to change the message. What's important is who that message will reach and how to reach them. He mulled over the words that MAMIYA had once told him. I was sure I picked the best way to do it. The same goes for the audience I wanted my message to reach. But this is what happened. It only means that there's a problem with the message itself. He looked up at the people walking on by on the road. There was a man hiding in his clothes to keep warm. Smiling lovers keeping each other close. Children playing around. He saw himself and Mamiya in all of it. He tried his best to keep his emotions at bay as his face contorted in pain. Excuse me. Excuse me. It didn't matter if it was foolishness or ridiculous. He was ready to be laughed at. But please, listen to my story. They only have to listen. What's important is letting them know about Mamiya. I think this is serious. No. Well, this might be different since it's from a different perspective. But even you, I just think I was writing a story about Mamiya though. It seems like the same stuff. Okay. Ayusunawa, your lip's bleeding. Sorry, I just can't write my story. Huh? I'm utterly unable to convey Mamiya's qualities, charms, humor, or knowledge. Well, why? Why can't you do it? Don't give up, Ayusunawa. If you can't do it, then we... Do it! Come on, just do it. Write your story already. Why can't you just do it? Ingaki. Why? So it seems that not a single one of us is able to feel it. We couldn't overcome society. We lost. All we did was realize how utterly weak we've been. Just the act of living is making my heart wear out. It's always been like this. The world's so hard to live in. The only reason I managed to get by was because Mamiya was there. No matter how many memories we share, none of you are Mamiya. There's no point in anything about Mamiya going around. Whoosh. Why? If Mamiya has no shape, that means she can stay around without ever died. Why aren't you here, Mamiya? Why didn't you take me with you? A world without you has no meaning whatsoever. Why? This is a lot to endure. The afternoon above was so much fainter than that night. Oh, Mamiya is so far away. The disappointment I turned to fatigue, and soon enough, they no longer had the will to muster up any more courage again. Shit. Why? Why the fuck do I have to do so much trouble writing this shit? Shit! This is garbage. I can't handle something like this. If I can't even finish this, then why the hell did I become a writer in the first place? I just appeared in the living room with several drafts in hand. His eyes were hollow and completely devoid of light. He simply went back and forth between the bathroom and the kitchen. Ayusunawa. Bach. Please, Bach, away. Oh, no. Summoned you stood before the hollow shell of a man and launched a powerful roundhouse kick at his behind. Whoa! Okay, that's just me. Goddamn piece of... What are you whimpering about, Mr. 99er? Huh? If you can't write, then talk. Unlike you, we can't write stories. However, anyone can speak. That's the kind of place this house is. You stay here the longest and breathe the most out of this place's air, so you must do this. Easy for you to say when you know nothing about the pain and hurdles of creation. I just looked at the others in the room littered with drafts and crumpled notepad pages. You want me to talk about Mamiya? How ironic. You're telling me the words. You're telling me to say the words I'm gonna write at my table, huh? Fine, I'll do it. There won't be any dramatization or entertainment here. Don't you dare yawn, no matter how boring it is. This is your one-in-a-lifetime chance to get a peek at the notes about a single the author. That's actually kind of smooth. To get a peek at the notes about a single the author. I like that. Smooth. It was a story from that time in Japan. I guess you students were too busy with your studies for it to mean anything to you. But you remember, right, ED? The economy was still growing, but the bubble had popped. A recession began and unemployment grew. It was a story from back when Japan was a slum. So, Arisunawa, you like potato chips? Personally, I enjoy them so much I end up eating them at work. I really like the rich taste and accessibility. So, yeah, here's some consomme chips, my favorite. Eat those and think about it, alright? Shit. Shit, 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 shit. That motherfucking editor. Who cares about consomme chips? Who reads literature while snacking? I ain't blowing those again. Hold on. I tore open the bag and hastily bit into the chips inside. Walking with an unpleasant aura around me, I arrived at a red traffic signal and stopped. I was still stamping my feet, though. None of them understand me. Goddamn shit for brains. I worked my ass off to write this thing, and that fucking editor goes and rejects it. Huh? I'm already out of chips. Irritated, I threw the bag toward the ground, but the wind caught it and took it to the sky. Ah, this tastes so rich. George, how did the auditions go? I'm in a minor role again. Well, I still go for the male co-star award. I'm also stuck on my latest work. I just can't get over the noise of the model. You're always like that. The smallest things bother you. You can't put a price on incomplete pains, you know. How could anyone live in this world and make it through a day without booze? It happened several years ago. Me and some acquaintances used to often hang around an old bar that called itself a salon. One was trying to be a painter, another was doing music, and there was this aspiring actor as well. We were all in different fields, basically. And you, Arisungawa? How did it go? My art transcends the common masses. I like your poems, Osamu. Not sure about the novels, though. You're too green to understand them. And how's your luck with girls? Oh, I get tons of them. There's gonna be another party today. I can't wait. Huh? Man, there's so few people here today. George finally got a good role and is busy practicing day and night. Karen has a part-time job. She's also been training to go full-time, so she might stop coming here altogether. Man. We were entering our late 20s after all. What the hell? She was so passionate, though. Why would she get away from art that easily? How about you? Me? Oh, I'm counting on you, Alex. I'm trying to do something different voices. I'm counting on you, Arisungawa. Hey, no problem. Right, man. Gotta get that draft done. Oh, hell no. There is no way I'm working full-time there. Anyway, I've got a job as well, so... What? Didn't I tell you? I start an electrical company next week. Huh? What happened to playing the guitar? I'll keep it as a hobby. You shitting me? Weren't you the one who kept making fun of the music you hear in bars full of old dudes? My youth is over, man. That's... I said this like... We talked about it some when we first played this route. Oh, when I first played this route. But... I just entered my 20s. You know, so it's like... I'm always thinking like, am I letting my youth go to waste? Am I letting it go to waste? I hope I don't end up in my late 20s thinking like, have I done anything? You know, am I accomplishing anything? Am I able to do the stuff I want to do? Or am I just gonna have to go and just be average wage worker, solid office worker? I mean, you know, I might want to start looking reality in the eye too. Osamu, how long are you gonna keep this up? You know you might end up like your uncle, right? I heard words like that many times over and over, but for some reason it stung particularly hard this time. I had no girlfriend, and marriage was something that had no place in my life. But what of it? That was just how my life was. That said, there was a part of me deep inside that thought the old man was right. It's tragic, since Ryan was basically all I had left. Also, I just realized my cursor's just been on the screen. I should probably take it off and use the enter button. I heard number 510 trillion in the news and was like, whoa, before also ignoring it. The worlds of stories and containing a phenomenon related to government or societal issues. In my eyes, that was reality, and that was good enough for me. And yet, well, it's getting a bit hard for us too. I would have guessed as much, but damn. Affected by the recent recession, even this hobby shop didn't care much about the profit. Wait, even this hobby shop, I didn't care much about profit will close up. Faced with a real threat, even I had to snap back to reality. Man, what am I supposed to do here? My family was pushing me to get married. My friends were driven away from art. I stood between reality and fiction, where everything was falling apart. Ooh, that rhymed. Drifting away from art. I stood between reality and fiction, where everything was falling apart. Shit. I punched the desk in my range stupor, making the fresh draft scatter onto the floor. I'm so fucking pissed. Hey, give me a drink. But the usual guys weren't there. I wanted them to read my stuff. I didn't want to bother getting up, so I just reached over to the draft as I was. Moments before I could reach it, the draft was lifted up from the other side. Huh? I saw a beautiful, slender hand, which prompted me to immediately look up. Yes. Oops, I can't click on it. Okay, there we go. Has every single MAMIYA worn a turtleneck so far? I mean, I have to remember how does the boy MAMIYA dress? Let me look up.
I'm trying to look at this video that I made from the Samajima's route to see if Mamiya's wearing a turtleneck. Kind of is. I think so. I would consider that a turtleneck. It has a thick, tall collar. Yeah, I just noticed that. Yeah, that one. It was a woman with hair resembling wet crow feathers. That's an interesting description. That's an interesting description. I don't know if I would describe someone like if I consider the hair beautiful. I don't know if I would consider wet crow feathers the first description that comes to my mind. But I honestly found her to be stunningly beautiful. In fact, I was so enchanted I ended up not saying anything. Meanwhile, she began reading my draft. Was she a guest here, or someone from the salon? She might have been someone else's woman. As I wondered that, the sound of turning pages continued. With every turn, the paper touched her cheeks, making a wonderfully sweet smell drift toward my nose. I gulped and continued watching her intently. I didn't want to miss a single twitch of her eye. I felt like I was at the publisher's for the first time again. She slightly opened her mouth and prepared to talk. To me, that moment felt like eternity. Is this... Why didn't anyone notice it? Her voice and words touched my heart. I finally met someone who could appreciate my literature. As my chest filled with excitement, she gave me back the papers. You're not a cutout for this. What? I just realized Samajima's kind of tall. Not Samajima. I just think I was kind of tall. I kind of imagined him to be like kind of on the short side, but he's kind of tall actually. Now that I think about it. She put the draft on the desk, smoked her cigarette, and walked away with a smile. What the hell? What the hell's up with that bitch? Ugh. Yo. But only that woman at the counter. Were the others at work? As I was considering leaving, my eyes met hers. How's the ride going? None of your business. Going to ignore my advice? You're really taking the long road, huh? I didn't hide my displeasure. In fact, I scowled to make it as obvious to her as possible. I hated women who didn't know their place and acted all conceited and masculine. Why the hell was a woman, of all people, making fun of me? Are you new here? What's your name? I'm MAMIYA, Osamu. Wait, how do you know mine? I was on the draft. It was on the draft. That's a pen name. Pretty cool, right? Oh, it really doesn't sound like one. I wasn't myself right now, and I really didn't want this woman to be in control of the conversation. Got anything to show? What? I'm asking if there's anything you can write. Oh, are you curious? No, I'm just saying that I have no intention of listening to someone who can't even create anything. The words of someone who doesn't know the hurdles of creation hold absolutely no weight to me. Well, that's one thing we agree on then. She giggled and handed me a bunch of papers. Here. She urged me to look at her work with a cigarette in her mouth. Artists from all walks of life frequented the salon. Painters, actors, and the list can go on. The fact that she gave me some text meant that she was in the same profession as me, which immediately triggered my dislike of fellow writers. I expected to work with a strict eye, ready to be as harsh as I could. This is absolute trash. That bad, huh? So bad I can't even express it. Well, I'm glad I won't have to listen to you criticize me for hours. There was proper structure, but it was a complete mess. I couldn't understand the character's intentions or what the writer was even thinking. More than anger, I just felt pity. Well, as you can see, I can only produce trash, but at the least I have an eye for beauty. So you're saying I'm unfit to be a writer? No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. If anything, you're just a little bit too poetic. What? You're writing love's fantasy too much. You're a hopeless romantic. Hey. I saw green and black under her eyelashes, making me realize that her eyes were each a different color. You should be a children's author. I smell burnt popcorn. I hope that's not a bad sign. Hopefully that's coming from like outside, like my dorm is down like the hall, and I can just smell it. Cause I have nothing that should be burning in this room. Okay, I'm just gonna assume it's coming from outside this room. Alright. Huh? Yeah, I looked around. I don't see. Looked around my desk where all my electronics are, and I don't see any like smoke coming from anything. Here we go. Oh, I also have a what's this thing called? An AC. Let me look at that. Yeah, I took the AC and then I checked outside my room. Once I opened that door and stepped out and just had a sniff of air, I smelled burnt popcorn all down the hall. It's so much stronger outside my room. So yeah, someone burnt some popcorn and yeah, like it's strong. I don't know. They burnt that like black probably. A children's author? A children's author? That's a good one. Listen, I'm trying to break boundaries here. And you're telling me to what? Write lullabies for children? That's for weak men and sleepwalkers. Exactly. So you're saying I'm one of them? Osama, let's be serious here. This isn't an issue of style. It's more about the makings of a soul that serves as its root. It's not about what's around you, but what's originally inside you. What do you mean? Oh, speaking of burnt popcorn, let me say this real quick. I remember I was at my cousin's house. My cousin's from my mother's side of the family, and I was young. I can't remember how young I was, but we was at their house, and they had some microwave for popcorn, right? So they put it in the microwave, and it went on for a little bit longer than I expected. I'm like, I don't usually put popcorn on for that long when I'm at my own house. So I was a little concerned, and then I started to smell some burnt. So I took it out, opened it, smelt it, and I was like, "This is a little burnt." But guess what? They did that on purpose. They like burnt popcorn. They like the popcorn a little charred. They like that burnt taste. I'm like, okay, interesting. That must be the quiet taste that they just kept doing after they burnt it. This is the first time. Maybe they was real young when they was children, and their parents gave them burnt popcorn, and ever since that's how they like their popcorn. But yeah, I'm like, that is disgusting. Exactly, it's so bitter. Like, how could you eat that? But anyway, what do you mean? I asked for an explanation, but she provided none. The makings of a soul? What's originally inside me? The hell is that even supposed to mean? Was she saying that my writings didn't suit me? As I kept pondering that, I took notice of the background music playing in the salon. This place plays this place plays the Beatles. The owner was into American rock and mostly played that, so this is a rarity. I listened to Beatles a lot in middle school. My uncle liked them a lot. He was a dirty old fart, yet drank black tea like a gentleman. One more thing, Osamu, this is very important. There's no need to change the message. What's important is who the message will reach and how to reach them. The shape of Mamiya's eyelids and the meaning of her words left me perplexed. Hey, brats, why are you all about games? Don't you read books? Not really. I read manuals, though. What about you? Do you like books? Yeah, I do. There's tons of fun stuff written in them. Want to see? When they came closer, I gave them a book I had. It was a comedic children's book that happened to be in the hobby shop. They read it with obvious interest, occasionally laughing out loud and generally having fun. Man, this was good. I'd love it if someone read my books like this. No. I shook my head, realizing the words that woman had told me were still in my mind. Nonetheless, I was unable to clear my head, causing a certain irritation to well up in my heart. Ugh, shit. That's his favorite word. That's his favorite word. He said it like, he says it all the time. I don't know what to say. I feel like the publisher had just told me again that my work was boring. I don't usually care about what people think. I didn't care what people said about me. I was well armed. However, presenting a piece of your work felt like taking your very own child, a naked baby, and showing it off to someone. Having it criticized was akin to seeing it bleed, and it filled me with an intense amount of pain. So I had to achieve greatness in order for people to appreciate my work instead of hurting it. I just want my words to reach them. I lit another cigarette out of sheer irritation. I began smoking them, and when I scratched some from my uncle, wait, I began smoking them when I scratched some from my uncle. My uncle had died while I was still young. He was kind to me, and we had similar tastes. My parents are both the outgoing type who only listen to pop music when you're on TV. My uncle, however, showed me lots of foreign music. Ever since I was in elementary school, he introduced me to things like manga and novels, children's books. I was pretty sure I still had some books given to me by my uncle. I dug through the books and poetry compilations given to me by my friends to find them there. It was a tanned and aged tokobon sized book. A single look in the pen illustration on the cover instantly took me back to those days. I hadn't been this excited in ages. It was a real page turner for me. I couldn't stop. Before I knew it, I spent the entire evening reading. Do you know Sputnik 2? Oh, the Russian sat? Yeah, Apollo 11 may be the most famous spacecraft, but the silver ball is an important part of space development history. We can't forget about it. Though, I wonder how long Laika survived. Oh, I didn't know you had the capacity to worry about animals. Huh? Of course I do. What do you mean? I'm joking. Although, it's hard to tell if what the media put out there is true or not. No one's actually witnessed Laika's final moments. So there's no way to confirm when she died. So all that matters is what you yourself thought when you heard about it. Me? The woman calling herself MAMIYA put on a smile.
You can only know reality through your own interpretations of things you see. Your novels are no different in that regard.
Her extended finger shone white in the light of the bar counter.
They are the result of you elevating things you saw using yourself. Wait. They are the result of you elevating things you saw using yourself as a filter, right? Stories may be fiction, but at the same time, they're reality.
My reality, huh? Those words echoed awfully strong in my ears, as though to silence the tinnitus, I downed the whiskey. What the hell? It was no good. The next day, I left the publisher with a bitter face, carrying my draft. It was a draft for a children's novel I wrote, just like MAMIYA told me.
This is no good, Arisungawa. Moon King, really? This is meant to be a story for children.
My story was about two boys who, accompanied by Laika, went on a journey to defeat the Moon King.
Laika, too. Wouldn't she be better fit for a more adult story?
I get that, but this is the story I want to write.
But the kids these days seek something more stimulating. And we live in a day and age where stuff like space and splendor are just old.
In the end, I wasn't able to convince the editor. Feeling dejected, I was about to go to the hobby shop when...
What's that?
A story about two boys and a dog who go to defeat the Moon King. It made me feel stupid to even do it, but I replied, albeit nonchalantly,
What's a Moon King?
Yeah, kids these days are so... Wait. I realized the kids weren't asking me in a mocking tone, but were genuinely curious. After thinking for a moment, I began describing the Moon King in my story. Listen, the Moon King is... Children had the ability to concentrate. They got invested in the story I was telling them pretty quickly. I enjoyed that. As I watched their reactions, I added explanations, even changed a few phrases. The question continued even after I was done, and reached a part of my backbone I didn't even know I had. It made me feel like the time I spent here was more important than anything else. Whew. This time, I wasn't in the same old literature department. Since I insisted, I was introduced to the department that handled children's books. Oh, this is a new edit. I gave both editors the same voice. So here's two different editors. Oh well. Since I give the editor in the future the voice I've been using, I'll just keep the same voice.
Arisungawa, I assume? Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, this is the editor I was thinking about when I made the voice. The editor who showed up seemed droopy and somewhat unremarkable. Pleased to meet you too. I breathed it out and gave it to him. Hey, listen to this.
Oh?
I'm getting serialized.
Ah!
I'm getting serialized. I finally getting recognized for my work. I wasn't wrong, right, MAMIYA? I ended up messing up her hair with all my shaking, but she nonetheless smiled back at me.
I told you I had an eye for beauty.
After I read the story to the children and watched the reactions, I ended up revising it, right down to the smallest detail. And so, the draft I brought back to the editor won him over with surprising ease.
Yes, this is good. The setting makes sense and doesn't contradict itself. And most importantly, it was exciting. For a children's book, the writer has to be able to excite adults. You'll never be able to move the hearts of children otherwise. You sure enjoyed writing this, didn't you?
I did. The draft I had given him was the same as the one I given the editor at the other department. The story, the premise, the progression were almost exactly the same. I merely simplified it to make it easier for children to understand and made it a touch more fantastical. It was fun. I felt like I went on an adventure myself. I could have started writing. I knew the ending. Hell, I was the one who wrote the entire plot. But for some reason, even I found myself wanting to know how it would happen next. So, Arisugawa, when do I get to read the sequel? Mamiya, are the others here? Sadly, no. Well, whatever. You're enough for a celebration. You are going to join me, right? Of course. A toast to you, my friend. Excuse me. I went on to meet up with Mamiya a lot. I didn't have much fun talking to others. They didn't pack enough of a punch. Mamiya, however, was perfect in that regard. Oh, look at them. Oh, does he have a piercing? I never realized that. I know his ears were pierced. We had lots in common. We also touched on recent music, as well as suicidal people. The way she spoke of the things impressed The way she spoke of these things impressed me in one way or the other. Wait. The way she spoke of these things impressed me in a way other people couldn't. Meanwhile, Mamiya was completely unlike any woman or human that I'd ever known. I couldn't really pinpoint what made her so special, which was frankly pretty embarrassing to me as an artist. I wanted to know her better. I wanted to expose her. However, she'd always avoid me, as though it was a waste of effort on her part. A movie? Yeah, it'd only be shown for a week at a small cinema, though. Are you asking me out on a date? You're free to interpret it as you see fit. Well, then try being more smooth for starters. Go on, show me how an author invites a girl on a date. As my eyes, as my eyes darted around, I noticed a cigarette on the counter. Can you give me one of your cigs? Some are better than others, just so you know. I don't mind, as long as I get to try them with you. Mommy offered me her box to me with a smile. It's decided then. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I was thinking of marrying her. I'm not sure if I liked her as a woman, though. Liked her as a woman, though. I felt like that's not quite the right way to describe what I felt. Yeah, I think it'd be more apt to say that I wanted to spend my life with her as my partner. I used to think I never wanted to get married. I even looked at wedding rings. During our date, I even took her hand and thought about the size of her finger. So why did things turn out like this? Hey, Mamiya! Hey! Hey! It's all thanks to you. Look! I won. I got an award. Everything was going uphill at a shockingly fast pace. My award-winning story will be published with talks of additional works already underway while previous ones are being sold. I even received letters from children giving me their thoughts. They actually understood it. What I wanted to convey managed to reach them. There was no need to change the message. What's important is who that message will reach and how to reach them. Mommy wasn't wrong about that. I nodded to myself as many times as I kept reading the letters over and over. There's going to be an award ceremony. There'll be lots of good food. There'll be lots of good food. Come with me, will ya? Me? Are you sure? Of course. Without you, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Sure, I'll think about it.
Just do it, jeez.
I'm not good in crowded places.
I see.
Then again, there's a dress code, right? I love to see you all dressed up for the occasion. Clothes make the man and all that, you know.
You little. Well, fine. But you better put on some makeup, too. Congratulations, Anisangawa. I'm amazed you won. Oh, thank you. It's a shame you weren't in my field, but I'm really happy for you. This is the old editor. Wait, I had to give a different voice to this editor. It's congratulations, Anisangawa. I'm amazed you won. It's a shame you weren't in my field, but I'm really happy for you. Guess those consomme chips did the trick, eh? I suppose so. His words just came in one ear and out the other. I focused solely on looking around the place. But no matter how hard I looked, Mommy was nowhere in sight. I walked through the nighttime streets with heavy, sluggish steps. I refused to go to the after party. I just wasn't in the mood. I came across MAMIYA standing under a street light. MAMIYA!
Hey there, Osamu. Did you enjoy the party?
She was in a beautiful dress, and even in this poor lighting, she shone like a diamond. I would have loved to see a sprite, a CG with a female MAMIYA in a dress. I wanted to see it. Why did you come? Oh wait. Why didn't you come?
Oh, I actually did show up, but got sick of the crowd and left. Sorry.
And then you just wait for me here?
Well, I'm pretty used to waiting. Osamu?
Man, what am I gonna do with you?
I took off my jacket and placed it on the shoulder.
Wait. I took off my jacket and placed it on her shoulders.
Hey now, I don't need this.
You do. You're a woman. Can't let you catch a cold.
See? Now I look just like I usually do.
Exasperated, she laughed, and I laughed, and I chuckled with her. Wanna go for drinks? At the usual place, I mean?
I'm liking the idea, especially since I didn't actually drink anything at the party.
Well, here's your chance then. And don't worry. I'll foot the bill this time. I extended my hand to her, but she looked confused. I'll lead you.
Oh?
Your hand?
Very well, my king.
But man, Tokyo is a real hotspot of rural people. The spouses next door are from Shiga, while the madame in front is from Aomori. I wonder I wonder how many actual Tokyo people you have here. Say, Mamiya, where are you from?
I come from the Trichiliocosm.
The Trichiliocosm, as in the universe? So you're from space? So where are you really from?
Don't you find that women are more charming when they're wrapped in mystery?
I mean, sure, but ashes in a cigarette turn cold. You're like smoke. You have no clear shape. I can't grab a hold of you. I see you right here with your curves, but you just won't come to me.
Osamu,
I just want to know you. Words began pouring out of my mouth on their own. I didn't mean to act this weak.
thank you.
Mamiya.
Good luck with your writing. I'll be cheering for you.
Mamiya stood up and started to hurry out of the salon. I was overcome with a powerful sense of uneasiness. I felt that unless I grabbed a firm hold of the smoke here and now, It will be gone forever. MAMIYA, wait! I grabbed her arm. It was so slender. It was like holding nothing at all. Like it could slip through my fingers at any moment. Where are you going? Back. Back where? Where I came from. You mean the trichiliocosm? Yes. I I want to go there too. I want to go where you going. You can't. I felt like she had just rejected my marriage proposal. You can't come to trichiliocosm. Why? Live and weave your story. Unlike me, who could only write crude works, you have many children waiting for your stories. Being a children author is a wonderful thing. Children are strongly influenced, and they'll create the world for the next generation. You're shaping the world with your work. Isn't that what you wanted? Don't stop, please. But, MAMIYA, keep writing, Osamu. Do it for my sake. On that fateful day in December, she stopped showing up completely. I tried to find her. I combed through the whole of Tokyo. I followed her scent of the tobacco she lacked, the taste of alcohol she drank, the art that she had a fondness for. Well, you all know how that went. I couldn't find MAMIYA, and now we're here licking each other's wounds. I talk big, but I really didn't tell the story as well as I said I would. Rise more my forte. Although, I can't actually write anything about her. Pretty ironic, huh? I'm this desperate to tell the world about MAMIYA. Hell, she even told me to keep weaving my stories. But without her, I found no joy in any letter I type. Chapter 6. Good night, moon. Finished downfall icing I was rude. I'm thinking. Let's save. Let me hold on a second. Let's see. Oops, wrong one. Chapter 6, 7, 8, 9. Hmm. Thinking, do I want to just do not Niingaki, Toma now? And then we can just spend the next stream doing 6, 7, 8, 9. Because, we'll have to play, 8 twice, I think. Because they each tell their own story, right? Well, not each, but Tojo, Kikuchi, Waichigo also tell their story. So it's like, could I fit Toma and the rest of Downfall in one stream next week? Or should I just have next week's stream to be the second half? It's only 8 o'clock. Who I am. It's fine, I could do it. I'll do Toma too. We'll just finish all of the Pink House right now. I chose to observe Toma. What kind of person was he exactly? Oh, I'm still doing I'm still doing I just forgot his voice. With that question in mind, I allow myself to sink deep into the story. Chapter 5, Side Toma. Hey, Bach. Please forget that. I wasn't myself. You're still playing Bach? Yeah, I'm slowly getting the hang of it. Man, it's tragic how to play such boring music. What? Aisugawa, did you just speak ill of Bach? Shit, it seems like it's gonna be a pain in the ass. Listen, Bach is an amazing individual worthy of being called the father of music. The impact he had on the world is immeasurable and, yep, knew it. Total pain in the ass. Hmm? It's rare to see you two together. Hey, Mayuri. Arisangawa gave me a pleading look. She merely chuckled and walked away. That bitch! Arisangawa, are you listening? The only reason you find Bach boring is because so used to modern pop music. Well, for your information, Bach was actually very avant-garde in his day. Goddamn music nerds. The job of a conductor was to command the orchestra by waving the baton in front of it. There were many people who thought of it that way. However, that was only a small part of the conductor's role. The true power of a conductor began from establishing smooth relationships with the musicians, which need to start long before the concerts were even announced. Most musicians were highly unique individuals. Some were gentle, others were artisans, and again, others were just really stubborn. One of the qualities one of the qualities a good conductor needed was the ability to communicate with such people and unify them. That was why Toma felt confident that he could consolidate large groups. However, he felt that convincing musicians with complicated personalities would have been easier. The orchestra and the conductor, no matter how quirky they were, they would always have something in common: respect for music. Speaking of conductors, I had this idea for like a story, or not even maybe a story, but maybe it's just a character who is a conductor. Like I have like this, I have an idea of a character in a world where magic and wizards and witches exists, like open, like it's like a common thing. And there's a one character who's a conductor, and you know how wizards have wands. I imagine a conductor having a conductor's baton being a wand that they use to cast their magic, and they use musical based magic, you know, and um, they can also control the movement of the people. Like they can cast a spell on the people that they attack, and the baton can control their movement because you know a conductor controls the movement of the orchestra. That's how it would be with the baton too. Yeah, I just had this idea floating around. I don't know if I'll ever do anything with it because I don't really have a story to go with it. But that's just an idea for a character that I thought about. Yeah, I think it would be nice. Hey, why'd you erase the dub, Niingaki? What? It wasn't me. You're the one who messed it up. Oh, I saw it as a damaging show, so I overwrote it with an. Okay. Oh, I saw it as a damaging show, so I overwrote it with an educational one. You damn asshole. Let's take this outside. There was no such thing as unifying these three people. With them, it was like speaking an entirely different language. Toma let out a sigh. This was a trial God had given him in order to make him into a real conductor. He nodded and went to act as a mediator. I must say, he has it hard, but he seems softer than I imagined. Even I had a thing or two. Even I'd have a thing or two to say to those three. I really want to cheer for him. I should definitely watch him for a while longer. I'm home. Welcome back. Toma found Samejima relaxing on the sofa. He seemed alone. He stood up to clean up the wine he had been drinking. Oh, no need to be considerate of me. Really? Then I'll leave it as it. Leave it at it. Leave it as is. The stereo in the living room was playing one of Rachmaninoff's compositions. The sound of the heavy string instruments suited Samajima well, especially in this pole lighting. You often listen to music? Beautiful art enriches life. Samajima took a sip of wine. Thomas sat next to him and enjoyed the music with him. He was attracted to the adult air surrounding Samajima. Say, Samajima, do you play any instruments? Yes, a bassoon, but only a little bit. A bassoon? What a wonderful instrument. I only play it as a hobby, though. I never actually taught her anything. I was never actually taught her anything. Oh, I actually find that even more impressive. I play the cello, and I've always felt like they were similar to bassoons. Really? Could we play together sometime, if you don't mind? If we get a chance. The time Thomas spent with Samajima was peaceful. The silence reminded him of the undisturbed surface of a lake. That's the second time that Samajima has been described that way. I don't know who said it the first time. I don't remember the context it was in, but this is the second time in the Pink House um, side that Samajima has been described. The silence surrounding him as undisturbed surface of a lake, and he found that thoroughly pleasant. Ah, Thomas sighed while looking at the key on his keychain. MAMIYA, where are you? It was a question he had asked many times now. Where had MAMIYA gone? What was that so-called Trakili Cosme had mentioned? Not a bad keychain considering your tastes. Well, it was something I was given. Thought as much. Hey, Arisungawa. Yeah. What do you think of MAMIYA? No matter who I talked to, no one even knew he existed. I feel like they just happen to not know him. He's pretty elusive all in all. I might have been the only person he ever talked to. Why has he stopped appearing before you? He said something about his family moving. Huh. Now that's one premise that'll never get serialized. Arisungawa. Don't bother. I got the gist of it. You just want to be better than anyone else in the world, don't you? What's wrong, musician guy? Cat got your tongue. Arisungawa gave Thomas' chest a light push and left. Thomas staggered, still hanging his head. That's not... I'm sure it's difficult talking to people with different values. He made his usual wry grin and put the keys back in his pocket. Conducting an orchestra? Yeah, my teacher recommended me as the conductor to a symphony. It's rare for students like me to get selected. It's actually a huge honor. So, I was wondering if you want to come too. Huh? Are you serious? Classical music will put me to sleep. I thought you would say that. Also, I have a photo shoot that day. Oh, I see. I'll go if I have time. You don't have to force yourself. Same to you. Get some sleep. You have bags under your eyes. Samajima. Oh, Bach, what is it? I'm not Bach. Well, whatever. Would you like to come and listen? A concert? An orchestra festival? Yeah, I was actually entrusted to conduct one of the entries. I see. That's wonderful. Very well. I'll do what I can to attend. I'm so glad. I'll do my best to entertain you. The two of them were on a similar wavelength in terms of art. The fact that he would be listening to Thomas' performance was a true blessing. He was genuinely looking forward to it. So, what are you scheming? Arisungawa. Arisungawa hadn't even intended to invite him to the concert. Unlike with Samajima, he didn't get along with Arisangawa at all. He was certain that if he came to the performance, he'd only end up criticizing it. However, Toma would have felt guilty for not even trying to invite him. So there was this concert coming up, and I was wondering if you could. Oh, what are you gonna play? The piano? The flute? The timpani? I'll be the conductor. Man, that's pretty impressive for a student. My teacher just happened to give me this chance. Arisangawa, if you have the time, would you mind? Well, I got nothing going on then, so I guess I'll come and listen. I'm not forcing you to come, just so you know. Nah, I'm going. It'll be good for inspiration. Humming to himself, Arisangawa took the ticket and walked away. Well, he had extra tickets even after giving them out to his school friends. It was better for the orchestra if someone had them rather than not. Toma nodded to himself over and over, then filled his head with plans for the orchestra. The event passed without a hitch. Having finally done it, Toma was overcome with a feeling of contentment. He was now listening to it just another member of the audience. Um, Toma, I heard your work. I'm no expert or anything, but that was awesome. You're actually really cool. Thanks, I appreciate it. I'm home. Welcome back. Good work. Samajima, you came to listen, didn't you? I did. What? Well, how was my conducting? It was impressive that you could command an orchestra at your age. You did great. That's not what I meant. Did the music make you feel anything? Hmm? I tried really hard to pour my emotions into the Ninth Symphony. What did it make you feel? Nothing special. I see. Sorry for the strange question. Oh, don't apologize. Also, I ordered home delivery today. We'll have a pig to celebrate your big moment. I see. That makes me happy. I mean, don't feel that bad, Toma. I mean, I don't really know if Samajima can feel those type of emotions with music and stuff like that. So don't feel too bad. He was disappointed. He believed that as a fellow lover of the arts and music, Samajima would understand. He didn't care about the food at all. He loved music above all else, including eating and sleeping. Perhaps music doesn't love me back? Hey. Turning around, he saw Arisangawa standing in the way with his shoulder against the wall. He looked visibly irritated, which served only to further dishearten Toma. Arisangawa, I listened to the performance. Oh. He thought he instantly criticized him. He thought he would say it was awful and a pain to listen to, an affront to concerts everywhere. In fact, Toma would have actually appreciated something like that. He wanted dismissal of any kind. That performance, you did it while thinking about Mia, didn't you? What? It was a shallow performance that only really showed off how inexperienced you are. It was embarrassing to listen to. From the new world, my ass. That's so fantastic, it was almost cold. Dvorak is rolling in his grave. Arisugawa, how did you understand my intentions? Arisugawa spat his hands at the shock Toma, or birds of a feather. Alright, let's leave the studying at that and go home. After he had given himself a good stretch and began to leave the library, he saw something in the children's book corner. Is this Arisugawa's book? There was a book called The Adventure of Clouds, Land, and Storm. Arisugawa's name was printed on its cover. He really was an author, huh? The pig's books? I'm not interested. Huh? Children's books? Sorry, but I only look at the pictures. I never even once thought of having you read them. An author. I read an adventure of Cloud's Land and Storm. Huh? I think also fell out. I think Adisangawa fell out of his chair. Why? You. I happened to pass by it in the children's section of the library. I see. Reading your book made me picture an endless horizon. It was like a dry land extending forever. I felt a lot of anxiety and fear in the world in it. Is that correct? Huh? Does what I imagine match your intention? I don't care. But I'm a conductor. Huh? My job is to fully understand the creator's intentions and express it in a balanced manner. That's why I want to know. No, won't help you much. Writing down your feelings of something is basically the same as writing down your feelings of something is basically the same as translating the work into your own words. With a receiver like you involved, it always ends up digested in some way. Tuma looked at him with uneasy eyes. Adisangawa clicked his tongue and scratched his head. And man, I've always hated literature problems. Seriously. Write down the author's feelings while writing this. What kind of question is that? He was obviously pissed at his editor. I remember questions like that in school. So yeah, don't ask the author about this. Works and the author are separated the moment they're finished. If that's how you interpreted it, then that's the correct answer. The same goes for Bach, Dvorak, and Beethoven. You're the one making the sounds, so you're the one who has to think. Got it? Yes. After that, Toma and Adisangawa started interacting more often. You're not good at talking, are you? Huh? I don't think so. Let me guess. You're the type to keep things bottled up and then release them all at once. What a pain in the ass. Your kind is hard to manage, you know. You're better off venting your frustrations all the time. Kind of like Niigaki. Is that so? Yeah. I mean, he might be foul in some other aspects, but he is an artist through and through, and I can appreciate that. Listen, Bach, have some self-awareness. You made it all the way here while being completely dense to what displeases you or gives you stress. Self-awareness? Doesn't seem right? Well, try verbalizing it. Happy, sad, angry. Always recognize when you feel these things and then express them. Well, I don't think you'll be able to do this right away, but it'll be necessary eventually. Keep that in mind. Why? Huh? Why are you telling me that? Didn't you hate me? Huh? You're the one who hated me. That's not. See, this is the lack of awareness that makes you a pain to deal with. I need to blow those again. Ugh. Don't you hate when your nose is stuffed, but when you blow, don't nothing come out when you blow? I hate that. just come out. I don't have this feeling that none's in there. Sorry. Listen, I'm soft on people who become my readers. Chapter 5. Okay. I think that was the longest exposition, to be honest. The chapter 5. I feel like all the other people's expositions were shorter. Hmm. Oh, is it true? Okay. Yeah, I felt like it. I need to bring people joy through my music, the same way MAMIYA shone his light upon me. Although, I realize I'm not really in a position to do that. I need a lot more practice before I can get to that point. There's something I want to confirm with you. What? Are you really planning to transfer to an overseas school? What? Yeah, I am. I've already ran it by the school. Oh, don't worry. It's nothing. More than anything, this experience will help you grow as a person. There's no need to rush or panic. I'm sorry. You can come back anytime. Stay safe. Uh, sure. Tom understood that his father wasn't too enthusiastic about his decision to travel overseas in order to study music, or that realization made his heart ache. Though his father had attempted to give him a warm send-off, he would have likely preferred if Toma went to law school instead. With Toma's little brother sickly, and his mother working away from home, Toma might have been his father's only hope. I'm sorry, Dad, but this is something I've decided with MAMIYA. I have to bring people joy through the power of music. Oh, Toma, it's been a while. A doctor called out to him while he was visiting his little brother at the hospital. How's Dr. Uze been holding up? Do tell me. Don't tell him I'd like him to come visit us again. I'll pass it on. Toma had known his doctor since the concert from a year ago. It was a charity concert organized by the hospital. It made him wish to become able to create and deliver such music. And through that, children will go on to become the new generation. Will go on to become the new generation. Wait. And through that, the children who would go on to become the new generation would surely come to know the wonders of music. Toma could clearly remember himself thinking just that. If we get the funds, we'll plan on organizing something this year too. You're more than welcome to join us if you can. I will. Thank you. Phew. While waiting for the bus, he killed time by drinking canned coffee in the waiting room. The place seemed to have been used as a relaxation spot for patients, with both adults and children enjoying their time there. Hey, nurse, what's gonna be this year's big event? There was a concert in the music hall last year, right? I wonder what we'll have this year. Tomo couldn't help but listen to what the nurse and the children were talking about. Is there something like that? Oh, yes. Some pros can remember. Nurse, can we please get something different this year? Let's get a comedian like the ones you saw on TV. You know, that, how do you say it? Yeah, that sounds like a lot more fun. Oh, fun? Uh, he looked at the clock and realized it was about time for the bus to arrive. Even as he sat on the bus, his mind kept replaying what that innocent child had said. No matter how wonderful I think it is, I guess not everyone will feel the same way. I guess that's how thick the wall between me and the world is, he thought. Toma, are you really planning to transfer to a overseas school? I guess music really is just entertainment. Okay, we've seen this. Okay, but I guess it's different. Um, I'm just gonna keep going until I see something different. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, I need to water the cactus. Bach? Are you done preparing yet? What do you mean? I'm not Bach. Don't try to avoid this. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Tell us the story about you and MAMIYA. The air suddenly froze. The time had finally come. Nyanki gulped and watched the two from a distance. Why me? You're the one who broke the ice, even though fate hasn't exactly dealt you a favorable hand. Man, uh, hey. I think I was still between them. Leave it, leave it at that, ED. What is ED? What is ED a reference? Like he always has these nicknames. Thomas Bach, because of Johann Sebastian Bach. Mayuri's Betty, because I'm assuming Betty Boop, right? Wasn't that it? What's ED stand for? What does it represent? Now this is rare. You don't usually side with someone. And weren't you the one who said it? Okay, let me look it up. ED. Oh. I remember that. Oh my gosh. Okay. My first thought was like eating the soda, but I was like eating the soda doesn't fit. Okay, but I see. Okay. I love how some of you just doesn't even respond to that nickname though. That's crazy. Bah. Arisingawa? I told you it'd be necessary someday, right? Ah, well, it looks like that someday is right now. So it's all for this? You were nice to me just for this? I thought you'd help me. That you'd side with me. Arisingawa faced away from him. Toma. Niingaki. He looked to her as if to beg for help, but she ignored him too. Talk. Ni. Tell us about you, MAMIYA. I've always been interested. I really want to know. So hurry up. Oh my gosh, so pushy. Goodness gracious. A story about me and MAMIYA? He cast his gaze down as if cornered and looked out the window. It's still too early. Excuse me? It's still bright out. Let's wait until evening. 7 o'clock should be fine. It's cold, so put on something warm. I've been waiting for you. Wait, why did you call us out here? Why not talk inside? Well, we have warm tea at least. He poured some tea from a thermos. As the steam rose, Niigaki hesitantly took the cup in hand. What a relief. The skies what a relief. The skies cleared up. Hey, it was raining at noon, right? The stars are beautiful on rainy days, so this is a perfect day for astronomical observation. Why did you call us out here? You need a romantic atmosphere to talk about Mamiya? Does that make it easier for you? Astronomy is what led me to meeting Mamiya. He loved all the stars and truly understood the spirit of the universe. He was like the starry sky and weather. You could be in the kind of cold that made you want to walk faster. Yet, just by looking up, you'd see light so intense that you wouldn't think they were thousands of light years away. That might have been why I used to walk around in the cold. If I could see something this beautiful, then the cold wasn't such a bad thing. Excuse me, goodness gracious. At least that's what it made me think. The other three continued to listen to him in silence. They all tried to see a part of themselves in him, as well as to look for differences. The stars glittered gracefully in the sky above. Toma exhaled a soft, white breath as he beheld his endless canopy. Yeah, it's cold. Let's go back inside. When did people stop being children? All I really needed was music. Okay, I was just listening to the song for a bit. Because the opening vaguely reminded me of the BGM in Your Turn to Die. That game, and when you have like those conversations, those like debates or like group discussions, the background music that plays for one of them kind of sound like the beginning of that. Okay. My world didn't go beyond that silent, vast universe. Toast, stop! You're too focused on the rhythm. The strings are reverberating, leaving behind the depth of sound. I see. Your problem is that when you read music off the sheet, it sounds too mechanical. Have more respect for Bach. You have the technique, but try to put more emotion into it. I will. Thank you, sir. Cello Suite number 5. Oh, Cello Suite number 5. This heavy, grave composition was my current project. I did respect Bach. Without him, music wouldn't be what it was today. I did my best to listen to the love, sadness, joy, and pain in his music and try to digest it. Also, I think it's so funny how much love and respect Toma has for Bach. Because nowadays, like the two music theory classes I've had, everyone's trying to get away from Bach, you know? Like, music theory, you learn the standard rules of like a voice leading and no doubling octaves or fifths, and don't jump by augment a second or diminish fourth. Um, you know, don't, all sorts of stuff like that. And then nowadays, like I see a lot of people, a lot of teachers who are like trying to get away from Bach, and trying to get away, like, that's what Bach said, but those aren't, you know, hard, which is true. Those aren't steadfast, hard, fast rules that you have to follow to become a good musician. But it seems like we don't have like the reverence for Bach that he has. Like, you know, everyone's trying to be like, oh, that was Bach. You know, I just think it's funny how different other music students I've seen in real life how they talk about Bach. I did my best to listen to the love. Oh, I read that. I tried, but there's no point if I can't convey it, is there? I mean, the teachers try to, instill appreciation about, but the students are like, that's old. I thought about my problem while wiping the bowl. I want you to become a politician like me. I understood his feelings well. He didn't force me to follow the path he wanted just because I was the eldest son. It was my life, after all. And yet, however faint, the opaque hope strangled me like silk. There's no way I'd make a good politician. I've never been good with words. The feelings I held inside would be crushed, restrained, and limited. I was on my way back from the hospital after bringing a change of clothes to my brother. The stars were shining bright in the distant sky. Just how long has it been since I held hands with my parents and looked up at those stars? Now's not the time to think about that. I gotta get home and practice. When did people stop being children? I met MAMIYA during my first year in high school. Really? You like stargazing too? Yeah. I was looking forward to the Leonids? The Leonids yesterday, but the weather wasn't good for it. That's a real shame, and man, I'm glad I was able to find someone good before graduation. The spectacled senior took out a key from his pocket. What's this? The key that unlocks the beauty of the expanding universe. In my hand, there was a rocket-like keychain with a key on it, gleaming softly in the light. The astronomy club was on the roof. When I went there, I found that man. He was wearing a hoodie and another school's uniform. He, MAMIYA, was sleeping on a dusty blanket. The sight shocked me. Hey, you. I tried to touch the shoulder reflecting the light coming in through the door, and so bright. He quickly got up, forcing me to pull my hand away and back off. I didn't realize he was breathing. Actually, I thought you were dead. Yep, he does have his neck covered. I wonder, what's the significance behind the neck covering? Is that just like a motif that's just a part of his design? It's not really like a plot, relevance to it? Or is there some relevance besides just characteristic motivic design? Huh? Oh. Still half asleep. He scratched his head before looking at me, opening his eyes wide. You're Morchigatomo, right? How did you know that? One of the seniors that told me that we're getting a new first year. And you are? MAMIYA. My name's MAMIYA. Welcome to the astronomy club, Toma. It was a windy, dry November. Despite being from another school, MAMIYA was sneaking here to use the club room as his main haunt. The room looked anything but well kept. There was a mess of old, tan magazines and manga scattered everywhere. I got a different key, you see. Apparently, this has been passed down for years now. He shook his key, which was on a moon-shaped keychain. So he basically pushed it onto me, huh? So, wanna watch a NASA video? Sorry, but I didn't actually enter the astronomy club. Come on, you can still watch it though, right? I really like it myself. I have something else to do. Sorry. Really? Well, come on over whenever you feel like it. Sure. See ya. Oh, okay. So it's just so there's a meaning behind it, but it's not plot relevant. Okay. You know, that kind of reminds me of the people of the saying that people have. I need to change the tape on this. The saying that people have is that let me look it up. Let me make sure it's actual. Um, well, I guess not a saying, but people say that when people's neck is exposed, it means they're vulnerable. When you expose your neck to other people, it means you're vulnerable. So if you kind of like scrunch your neck, scrunch your shoulders up, hide your neck from people, it means you're not being vulnerable and open to people. I've heard that before, so I guess it kind of relates to that because that shows that Mami is not has something to hide. He's not, completely opening up. Like there's some people, those like non-verbal cues that people talk about. Yeah, they say that exposing the neck is a non-verbal cue that shows that you're being vulnerable with the person that you're with. I looked at the constellation map and the Apollo 11 poster as I closed the door. I probably want to come here again. I wasn't in a situation that would allow it. I have a cello lesson tomorrow. I need to make sure to keep a steady rhythm. I made my way down the stairs while tapping my neck with my fingers. I love how Mommy just looks at us like that. I was on my way home from practice. I wiped my body to force myself to walk. Oh, dinner. Well, I'm not really hungry. Hey, Toma. I heard my name and turned my shoulders to face the speaker. There I saw a familiar high school boy. Oh, hello, MAMIYA. What are you doing out here so late? Wait. What are you doing out here so late? I'm on my way back from practice. You look awful. Really? You were going back from a lesson? What did you do? I I play the cello. Oh, and the piano. Awesome. I can also sing, I guess. Do people usually do so many things at once? I still want to do more, actually. I'm thinking of picking up a wind instrument. So you want to be a musician? No. I'll probably become a government worker. Oh, what a waste. You play so much music. Well, it's not like every musician can become a pro. But you like music, don't you? Yeah. You should strive for it then. No, it's fine, really. Alright. Today's the most active day for astronomy club. Hey, MAMIYA, wait. Where are you taking me? What do you mean, where? A place where we can see the stars, obviously. Toma flashed a... I love this music, it's perfect. Toma then went and flashed a wide grin. How long do we have to walk? Kind of reminds me of like a Ghibli movie. This music. And MAMIYA is taking Toma by the hand and running off into the pastures and the plains to go look at the stars. And this music is perfect. The good spot I know is some way ahead. Gets better the farther you go from the city. MAMIYA pulled me by the hand through the forest. Sorry, MAMIYA, that's enough. Thanks. I need to head back and study for... There. Toma, look up. Huh? I looked up. And in the sky, I saw so many stars that I didn't feel like I was in Tokyo anymore. Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Wow. can't see them. I can see them so well. This place is really good. Told ya. Man, what a relief. With such pretty stars hanging in the sky, there's really no reason not to smile. I wasn't smiling? Oh, not at all. You were totally down in the dumps. I see. Though I felt like I was wasting time, I also felt my heart begin to become untied. It must have been a power this strange boy had. In his eyes, my line of thinking must have seemed shallow. Position, honor, money, flesh, death took all those away. He knew all too well that in this world, everything was borrowed at best. Since then, I knock onto the astronomy clubroom's door every day. I had no music lessons. Morning, MAMIYA. Yo, Toma. We made ironic rocket and moon keychains click as we smiled. This was our personal greeting. These days, I thought that if flesh was borrowed, then MAMIYA alone was real. He had no body, and that made him the one thing that I've always yearned for. Yeah, right. I probably wouldn't have thought that about anyone else but him. You all feel the same way, right? Even though you can't have peace of mind with something you can't touch. I'm sorry, Toma. It's okay, Dad. Don't force yourself. It's about time you... forget it. Thanks for all your help. I put down the receiver and sighed. It was election season. My dad was really busy and spent very little time at home. Ever since I was a child, my father had tried to lead me into being a politician. He showed me how the politicians dealt with society and how they worked. I respected my father, and I understood the necessity of politicians. However, Dad, I have a cello contest on that day. I have a piano test the week after, then a visit from a famous vocal teacher. Was I disappointed to my dad? He was such a great, vulnerable person. Did you hear that Eroto's little brother won the national contest? Those brothers have such bright futures ahead of them. And Omoto sure is something. We were the same age. He learned alongside me, and we both went to the competition, and yet there was such a stark difference between us now. These days, young people were very talented. If there was a way to catch up and surpass them, it was through the right environment and the right amount of time spent practicing. Phew, that's it for today's practice. Oh yeah, I need to bring some spare clothes to the hospital. Where could Mother be right now? The moment I muttered that, my feelings within poured out. Adults should look after children, right? My voice was like a beast's growl. I shocked even myself and felt like apologizing to the whole world. I didn't mean it. I knew my parents and my brother had it hard. Everyone with their hands full of themselves, and there was no helping that. I was actually having pretty good. I had no right to complain. Then again, if I had grown up and become an adult, the best way to do that was to give up on music, right? Those dark, pitiful feelings overwhelmed my heart. I'll quit the astronomy club too. I never had any time for it to begin with. I feel bad for MAMIYA, but I have to go give him back the key. Look, Toma, big news. MAMIYA, there's something important I gotta tell you. I found a treasure map. A treasure map? Why would he say something so childish? I was so shocked my voice was almost enraged. This map's gotta show us the way to Treasure Island. Oh, I remember this now. I forgot all about that. Surely it was meaningless scribble left by former members of the club. I didn't even want to address it. I had something important to tell him, and yet this just made me even more irritated at myself for being bad at talking. Hey, Toma, wanna go to the sea with me? What are you talking about? There's no sea nearby. Boat trips didn't require a navigator, you know. You can read the stars, right? You can navigate for us. Hey, MAMIYA. MAMIYA was so forceful, one-sided, and hard to get a hold of. And so we went rowing out to the sea. Yeah, that's why I paused just a second just now. I was like, this is different. I don't think we ever did this. Okay, but I thought I did remember him mentioning Treasure Island for MAMIYA. But this is nice. I was like, wait, dude, I don't remember us having like a sea pirate adventure like this. Huh? Okay, but you just came and said this is new. Okay. Nice. I was wondering if we would get any new content for any of these Pink House people. I don't think we really have so far until now. The ship we went on was a small one. The wind was somewhat strong, and when we raised the sail, the ship began to shake. I instantly grabbed the rudder while MAMIYA calmly adjusted the sail. Okay. With the wind's direction being what it is, we'll be going against it. Turn a bit to the left. Doing as told, I moved the rudder to the left. Albeit awkwardly, the ship began to move. There, that's the way. The waves are pretty high out around here, but they should be calmer further out. I was about to give him a firm nod in response, but quickly snapped back to my senses. Enough of this, MAMIYA! Why did you get me involved in something this stupid? I don't have time to... Listen, it's important not to overthink things. What? It's not easy to just empty your mind. I mean, people generally rack their brains thinking about stuff all the time. And people who can just not think are actually the strongest out there. As I thought about the meaning behind those words, the ship continued to move. No good, MAMIYA. A mist is rolling in. The sea was blanketed in a mist and short distance ahead, making it impossible to see anything. MAMIYA used the foghorn to check the surroundings, but it was still pretty much impossible to know what was around us. I feel like these lines were taken from the original last scene from the Starry Sky scene that we had at the end of the Legacy version. Is that right? I felt as though the ship was surrounded by a thick white curtain. Toma, you might be tired, but it's dangerous around here. Let's get some rest after going a bit ahead. Alright. MAMIYA opened the nautical chart and turned on the flashlight. However, the deeper we went into the mist, the more questionable sounds we heard from the ship. The mist is so dense, we can't even tell where we're going. It makes me uneasy. Not much longer now. Don't give up. Will we really make it to Treasure Island? We will. I'm sure of it. The hand he put on my shoulder gave me some peace of mind. Also, I don't know, like, I hope you like my pirate voice. I felt like it'll be befitting for MAMIYA. If MAMIYA's gonna take Toma on an imaginary adventure, I feel like this MAMIYA who's childish and, like, you know, energetic, kind of a Genki guy, he would be the type to, like, put on, like, really play the part. So I put on like a pirate accent as if he's like really trying to play the part of this adventure and this imagination. Following those words, the ship continued cutting through the mist. The next thing I knew, I'd grown tired, so tired I fell asleep. Hey, hey, Toma, wake up! Huh? When I woke up, I saw a vast sky full of stars. The sky was dark, and all I could hear was the waves. When I looked above, I saw so many stars it was startling. I never seen a starry sky this beautiful. Overwhelmed by nature's beauty, I briefly forgot about my father and music. Mamiya was right. Astronomical knowledge was invaluable here. Oh, this is the scene. Yeah, this is like the scene from the end of his story in the legacy version. Listen, Toma. Out on sea, the stars serve as our guide. If you find the North Star, you'll find your bearings on a nautical chart. I sat down on the deck and looked up at the stars straight at. Wait, I was doing a pirate accent. Oops. Listen, Toma. Out on the sea, the stars serves as our guide. If you find the North Star, you will find your bearings on a nautical chart. I sat down on the deck and looked up at the stars, chart in hand. That's Polaris, and that's Orion, and that's the Big Dipper, and that's Cassiopeia. Yeah, that's Cassiopeia. I knew I did the right thing by bringing you along as a navigator. Mamiya rubbed my head and praised me. I bashfully told him to stop and kept watching the stars. I'm imagining like the small Mamiya. Like Mamiya, this Mamiya looks shorter than Toma. So imagine the small Mamiya reaching up to rub his head. I mean, he's not that small, but he's just shorter than Toma. Looking at the stars makes the planet play in my head. The planets? Oh, you're not familiar with it? The most famous movement in the piece is probably Jupiter. I sang a bit of it and you reacted to it well. I know it's not about the celestial bodies, but the sounds are so rich that, personally, I see connection between it and the vast universe. All the compositions are great, and they seem to improve your mental image of the planets. Which one do you like the most? Well, it's hard to pick just one, but I guess I'll go with Venus. Venus, the bringer of peace. That was a name given to the composition. It suits you perfectly. I'm happy to hear that, but you actually reminded me of Venus too. Really? Oh wait, Mercury, Jupiter, or maybe Uranus might be a better fit. Honestly, I feel like you're all the planets at once. I smiled, but Mamiya made a complex expression that seemed to be thinking about something. I'm not a planet. You can see me without a telescope. He stood up, pointed at the twilight sky, and smiled. I'm the moon. Standing on the deck of the ship, he looked at me as the night sky spread out behind him. Every time the ship swayed, the stars shook with it. I'm always closest to you. The moon. That seemed somehow fitting. The way it floated and shone in the sky was reminiscent of Mamiya. Debussy's Moonlight. Not bad. As I muttered that, Mamiya looked up at the sky again. The Earth says they're gonna come next. Will you watch them with me? Sure, it's a promise. Let's turn everything into a joke. And I do mean everything. You tend to be too serious, so that'll work for you well. Work well for you. Hey, Toma, tell me something funny. If you speak humorously about things that happen to you, I'm sure you become strong. Was it okay for me to be a child still? With the stars as our guide, we were about to arrive at our destination. We're finally at Treasure Island. I didn't think we'd make it. This was a long and arduous voyage, and the secrets of the island will be finally revealed. Secrets? What do you think we'll find there? They say that Treasure Island is full of gems and riches, but more valuable than that are the many stories born over the course of its long history. Stories? A city sunken by the sea, a paradise inhabited by long-lived, beautiful mermaids. There are many stories like that, and they were all true for Treasure Island. So your goal is to verify those stories? My question put him in a resigned smile. No, I want to become Treasure Island's story itself. What do you mean by that? Before I got an answer to my question, the ship slowly stopped and Mamiya got off. Hey, Mamiya, wait up! When I chased after him and stopped in Treasure Island, my vision was quickly flooded by light. Oh wow, this is so different. Wow. I like this version though. This is nice. So he leaves him on Treasure Island this time. Don't quit music, okay? That was the last thing I heard Mamiya say. Though, that was all just an allegory about me winning the competition. All I got was a certificate as a first place winner, and the telescope left in the astronomy club. It was during the Ursa meteor shower that I realized Mamiya was gone. Last year, I watched alongside Mamiya around the same time. There was a freezing, wintry chill in the air. I went to get some warm coffee from my thermos. The meteor shower was simply beautiful. So Mamiya and I promised to see them again next time. He was up for it too. I've been waiting for him ever since. Under the full sky. I waited a long time, but my teeth were clattering. The cold was making me want to sleep. I felt like Mamiya would show up the moment I looked through the telescope, so I never actually looked through it. My pale breath filled the air around me, and I waited to see that green eye shining in the dark, and yet Samejima helped bring the telescope into the house at the end of the year. I had him bring his mini and put it in. A telescope? Is it yours? Yeah. Would you like to look at the stars? Sure. Then come to the veranda at 3 in the morning. Want something warm and... The moment I said that, she grimaced around off like a cat. Oh, I love that so much. I just imagine that. That's when she says it, her face just... I want to see that illustrated. So, you're not up for it. How about you, Samejima? I'm working late tonight. I see. You must be busy. As for Arisungawa, he's still back at his real home. Well, I've always wanted to stargaze by myself anyway. It was the 3rd of January. In the early morning, the moon was very close to Venus. I looked at the stars without even knowing that. And the sight of the partially filled moon and Venus made me shed tears within the morning light. Mamiya, Mamiya, Mamiya! I continued sobbing as tears rolled down my cheeks. I was like a broken dam. I couldn't stop crying. The sunrise was beautiful. The Ursus will come again this year. You could see it last year, the year before that, and even this year. It's a really special thing. A cruel kind of special. Also made me recall all my memories of Mamiya. Even now, whenever I look up at the moon, I always think of the moonlight from that time. And that's the end of my story. The rest is as you know it. In the latter half of December, I felt something vanish. Mamiya was gone. I really want to go stargazing with him again. Claire de Lune, finished. Downfall, Thomas Root. Claire de Lune, oh. Every time I think about Claire de Lune, I think about Kaede. Kaede Akamatsu. Yay! Ooh, let me say it first. Hold on. Yay! We finished! We finished. Yeah, Kaede! My beloved Kaede. I still cry. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, we finished all the Pink House people. And also, I just thought of this. Have people watched Princess and the Frog? Because what's the guy's name? I can't remember what his name is, but the firefly that you meet in the bayou. Yeah. Remember how he had a beloved who was like a star, I think? She was supposed to be he believed that she became a star in the sky. It kind of reminds me of how Mamiya is like they beloved and they're looking for him, and you know he's associated with the moon, which is like a something in the sky. So yeah, that's what that reminds me of a little bit. Okay, so yeah, so I guess next time we will finish chapters 6, 7, 8, and 9. Let's see, chapter 6. The spectator has learned much from the memories of Mamiya, resolving to save his friends from their fate. So yeah, we'll be finishing off Downfall next stream. It should be a breeze. I believe so. Oof, we're getting closer to the Doomsday Dreams. Closer and closer to Doomsday Dreams. I keep seeing on Discord a bunch of spoiled images on in the chat. And I'm like, I can't click on it. I can't look. I have to practice self-restraint. And I think I saw on your timeline some stuff from Doomsday Dream too. Try not to pay attention too much. I can't wait to get caught up. So, yeah. It is like 9:23. I hope that the downstairs cafe is open because I kind of want to get a chocolate bar. I'm gonna move for some chocolate. So that's what I'm about to do. So thank y'all very kindly for coming by. Much obliged to you all as always. And I will see y'all later this week. Um, yeah. Y'all come back now. You heard me. Bye.